Did you get a new microphone?
No, remember, I've only been home for a day, so.
Right. I didn't know what that doesn't. Did you buy one beforehand or something? Your audio sounds really good.
No, I don't know. Must be a good connection.
Okay, good. Well, good. I have an observation and then a question, and you, of course, will answer it, being the high and mighty intellectual that you are.
Well, I should say first, you don't mind me enjoying some liquid relaxation before you ask me that?
Why, are you busy or something this time of year? Is there something going on?
Oh no, there's nothing going on. I'm just super bored, kind of hanging around, going to pastry shops, bringing my laptop, maybe stopping by the cigar lounge, things like
Right,
that.
right. Boy,
Yeah.
you're a cool guy, man. You're one of the coolest people I know. You could do all that? Wow. It's
Instant
like,
hangout status.
yeah, yeah. So I've concluded that the word race is pretty freaking gay, and I do not mean in an anti-homosexual sense. I mean in the traditional sense that it's lame and stupid.
Race, like running a five.
Race, yeah, like not like a car race or the verb race. I mean a skin color, ethnicity, where
Oh,
you're from type of
demographic. Yeah.
demographic race. Yes, because it of course has been, like many other words, abused into or politicized to the point that it immediately has a grating, annoying effect on you.
Yeah.
But I also thought about, like, how lame is this? What race do you belong to, Chad?
I could say the human race, or I could say I'm a
Oh,
white
okay.
dude.
Even using it like that, the human race, doesn't that suck?
Yeah, human beings are
Well,
pretty
that
bad.
too. But okay, like I belong to the Latino race, or I belong to the black race, or I belong to the white race, or even the human race.
Human
I
race.
I just it's pretty lame. So I came up with a different word that only us cool people can use. Only
What's that?
listeners. Well, okay, you would say Atham belongs to the.
Awesome race.
Yep, we're even going to improve it upon that. He belongs. What does he really belong to?
Superior or elite.
No, 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 not the 1099. No, no, no. What is he actually in the real world? What is his genetic race?
Well, he's Mexican, but we're not supposed to say that, right?
You can't say Mexican. I know you can't use it in the super chats.
Yeah, that's why I was like, if we can't use it in the super chats, does that
He
mean
is Latino or Hispanic, of which I do not know the difference. And please, for the love of God, people, don't tell me the difference. I don't care to know. All right, but he is of the Latino race, right?
yes.
Okay. How about this? He's part of the Latino syndicate. Huh?
Syndicate?
The syndicate. Doesn't that sound? I'm part of the white syndicate. Huh? What's Dre?
Syndicate.
Dre, where's he? He's part of the black syndicate. See
I
how much
mean,
cooler that sounds?
it does sound cooler. I just see a hard time of seeing that one get caught on.
It's no, it's not. It's not for the normie, conformie, inferior types. It's not for the regular human race. This is for us. This is for us elites. All right. Like, okay. What race is Whoopi Goldberg part of?
The annoying one, but she's part of the African American race.
No, we say black here. We don't waste 7 syllables when one will do. Okay, she is part of the black race.
Okay.
But you know who's part of the black syndicate?
Marcus Brown,
Marcus
Vince.
Brown. Yeah, but when you say black syndicate, who comes to mind? That the famous that we all know.
Syndicate. This one you'll have to just answer.
All right.
Yeah.
Whoopi Goldberg belongs to the black race, right?
Mm-hmm.
Denzel Washington belongs to the black syndicate.
Yes.
Morgan Freeman belongs to the black syndicate. What could we do? What's his name? Henry Cavill belongs to he's part of the white syndicate. And Jet Li is part of the Asian syndicate. See? But then you got Margaret Cho. Margaret Cho, she's part of the Asian race. I'm just saying we should up our game here. If you just got that little bit more of class and panache, not a whiny leftist Kawanta ha-ha, you're part of the syndicate. I think that's way cooler than race.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you're coming with me on this. I'm glad you're as excited about this as I am. Just calm down. Don't use it tomorrow. Wait a little bit. All right, just settle down. Fine, you don't want to be fun. All right.
I mean, no, get it, and I see what you're saying. I think it's clever. I just, syndicate in here in Chicago,
Yeah.
syndicate kind of carries a bit of a like heavy connotation because this is such a heavy like mafia
Wasn't that
city.
part of the mafia, not the syndicate?
Well, they use the word syndicate sometimes because
Oh,
mafia is apparently like, I don't know, you can't really say it or people don't say it, so they say crime syndicate. Um, but that's probably just here. I don't know if they do that in other
yeah,
cities.
yeah. I mean, I guess we could use Yakuza, even though it's Japanese in
Yeah, that's
origin.
Japanese. Yeah.
Right. I just like syndicate. Look, you can have a company syndicate, right? Or
Yeah,
like a network is I'm not talking the negative connotation that would come with crime. I'm talking like it's an organization. It's a little bit you don't see no one. You hear about these onesies, the kugurumis.
yeah.
How do you know that? Did you know about this before?
I saw something on social media one time, but I can't remember. Did you post that?
I posted it yesterday or a day ago.
Maybe that's what it was. Yeah, I just was randomly looking at something. How did you learn about that?
I just saw it in person a couple days ago. And I'm not
Where?
kidding. My visceral instinct was to grab the kid by his nutsack and kick him in the ass. I mean, and the kid, I mean, an adult, albeit 20, maybe 21 years old. And then I saw it again at the airport when I got back from Dallas, where a 40-year-old woman was wearing what looked like to be a frog outfit.
Frog outfit.
Yeah. See, those people are not part of the syndicate. Okay. They're too stupid. They're too low class. All right. But a guy who's wearing a suit, I wonder if he belongs to the syndicate.
Syndicate.
You know what? I guarantee you the audience is with me on this 100%.
No,
One
it's
if
getting.
I'm right, zero if Chad's wrong. We'll get through it
I'm
here.
not. I'm not
You're not
disagreeing with you. I
so
just
anti-syndicate. I don't know why you hate the syndicate. That's
because I'm a syndicateist or.
all right. No one's gonna. Question. All right. And riddle me this, riddle me that.
Mhm.
So I go down. I gotta get out of the house like you do, right?
Yeah.
Looking at the screen, I'm writing the next book. It's coming out. Sick and tired of looking at the screen. Start to get blurry vision. I'm like, okay, enough screen time. Get out, go. So I go all the way over to the west side town called Enterprise. I don't know if we've ever been there.
Mm-mm.
Because I looked up, I wanted a dessert, just a little small dessert, and they got a lot of Asian influence out here for some reason. And thank God, because the culinary stuff is awesome. I love Asian food. But man, the Asian syndicate has some damn good desserts like mochi and boba tea. It's wonderful. It's heaven. If you think the Asian food is good, you got to try the desserts. So there was this Asian influenced dessert place, and I go there, and there's a line going out the door, and I drove all the way to the west side to go get there. So I'm like, all right, I'll just go in. They give me a number, and in front of me while I'm waiting are three Asian girls, coincidentally enough. All right. One in shape, one fat, one obese. Follow me so far?
Yeah.
Three Asian girls. Okay. I don't see their faces because they are ordering. They are ahead of me, looking at the menu and whatnot. When they turn around, which one do you think has the most makeup on there?
Oh, definitely the obese one.
Well, right. Okay. So follow me another part two of the Asian dessert place. So the only place to sit is outside. I go outside. There are four girls. I'd estimate 16 or 17. I don't think they were adults, but they could drive. So juniors, seniors in high school.
Mhm.
Three of the four are overweight. Two of the four are morbidly obese. And there's one girl who is not overweight, but she looks like crap. All of them though, some of them were sisters as well. They had their hair all done up with dyeing and all that. All but one, sorry, had makeup and all that. But none of these girls were good looking. None of them. They were all overweight or just rank ugly, right?
Mhm.
My question, why are fat, overweight girls even bothering with makeup?
I mean, I guess the way they see it is it's the non-effort laden way to improve their appearance, because it's hard for women to stay thin.
It's hard, but let me add another thing. I'm not even being slightly joking about this, given more and more data that I'm pulling. Women these are the types, not the types, but the age range, which I mean by age range 40 and under,
Mhm.
who believe they don't need a guy. And certainly young girls like that, that's what they've been getting. I guess not so much fat women, though I asked that, but generally, if beauty is a social construct, the big is beautiful, and on top of it, you don't need no man.
Mhm.
Why do millions of women every day put on makeup?
I mean, my only thought was that either they're in denial or they're trying to look good for their own, female friends.
Oh, okay, but would not makeup be a male patriarchal construct? Like
Oh, I see what
they
you're
in the
saying.
olden,
Yeah.
yeah, see where I'm going? Like,
Yeah.
okay, big is beautiful. If you're going to go with that lie, then anything you want to do is beautiful. And if you're going to go with the social constructivist lie that it's all social constructed, well,
Mhm.
then you should say, well, we don't have to wear makeup. Furthermore, you add a third reason to it where you don't need men, you don't live your life for men. Why are women burdening themselves? Millions, and some of which are feminists. Why? In other words, I guess the shorter question would be, why are feminists even bothering putting on makeup?
Well, it's a pretty good question. I mean, I'm going to say, you probably want to keep this monetized, but I have
No, I
something
mean,
that,
no, as long as it doesn't get you in trouble, it's not monetized because we're talking about interesting, I wouldn't say controversial things, but we already passed the point of monetization because I mentioned facts. There were
oh,
fat
okay.
chicks, they were loud, they were annoying. And I'm asking a legitimate question. I don't care how many people's feelings it hurts, but in today's world, why are women even wearing makeup, at least in the West?
Uh, I really don't know. I mean, along those lines, I've often wondered, some of my clients are in a certain industry.
Right.
They claim to be attracted to only other women. Yet when I'm writing off all their, toys, and believe me, that's not as entertaining as it sounds. They're all like penis shaped. Like that's what gets them going are the penis shaped
Well,
objects.
isn't that for their job, though?
No, I think even though they're supposed to be business expenses, I feel pretty confident in saying they use these for themselves. At least the ones that are 100% same sex oriented, and some of mine are.
Well,
Yeah,
maybe they like that. Maybe they just don't like guys.
could be that. Well, could the same answer apply to what you're talking about? Like maybe it's not a burden to them. Maybe they're just like putting on makeup. I mean,
No, I see. I I gotta speculate. No, Lord knows, and a woman, if there are any women in the audience, maybe you could you could tell us. Like Jennifer's in the audience. If they're willing to look, it's laziness, and this is not a slight on women because everybody's lazy. Men have let themselves go. They don't play or they don't go to the gym. They play video games. So I got that. If women are delusional enough to start believing big is beautiful, I don't know why they're even bothering hanging on to the makeup anymore. And you would think that would be like, okay, I'll give you another example. All right. What else do women apply to their faces and bodies?
earrings,
And
um, makeup, earrings. You're not going with tattoos, are you?
tattoos and irrational or unconventional piercings.
On their face? Ugh.
Yeah, on their face, all over. Where have you been? Haven't you
No,
seen
no,
those
I
little
know.
piercings?
I thought it was a little less common. I admit I don't see a lot of women with like tattoos on their faces and necks, but I know it
No,
exists.
but you see nose piercings, tongue
Oh
piercings,
yeah,
lip piercings,
yeah,
eyebrow piercings,
yeah.
slit neck tattoo.
Too
So,
many.
right, is that attractive?
I don't find it particularly attractive, but I mean, I know some guys do like, the nose piercing, tongue piercing, all
Yeah,
that.
okay, they're the minority. Okay, there are
Yeah.
chubby chasers, all right, but generally, most men find that disgusting and reprehensible.
I don't
N-
understand it personally, but
it's that would be the lion's share. I would guess if you polled men, you're looking at 95% of men find it unattractive, to put it politely.
I'd
That's
say
why,
90.
yeah, 1 in 20 like it.
Yeah, that'd be my guess.
Yeah.
1 in 20. There's just so much of it here, though. So,
Well, right. But when being fat, mutilating your body, essentially is what it is, or at least marring it,
mhm.
doesn't make it. So I'm like, well, ladies, why not go all out? Why, you got a girl who's all messed up with tattoos and piercings,
Mhm.
but she still does her makeup. Why? Why would you? It takes what, at least 15 minutes, unless you're Mary Joe. It's 2 hours to do your makeup.
Or Connie. So yeah, it's a bit of a tough one. I mean, could this apply? Well, I was going to say, would this apply to older women who are clearly not trying to attract a guy, because they're either been married or, they're, you know,
That's another one. I would guess older women who are postmenopausal are no longer interested in men, maybe do it out of habit, or maybe do it out of etiquette and decorum and consideration of the population.
mhm.
Old ladies, well, at least my grandma's age. By old, I mean like 80 and up.
Yeah.
Women they still have some modesty, and when they go out in public, they're not gonna like wear a freaking onesie. All
Yeah.
right. So I think out of cultural respect, they're just respectable women and classy women who do that. But even below that, you see some boomer women with the dyed hair now, thinking they're going to salvage their youth. But in terms, it's a really more an economic question. It takes a while for women to put themselves together, right?
Yeah.
And getting their hair done,
Getting their hair did.
it
Yep.
right. That's in nails and all that.
Yeah. Lashes, things.
Oh, that's huge out here in Vegas. All girls have fake lashes, all of them, including fat ones. I'm literally, if we're gonna take women at face value, feminists at least at face value, you don't need us. Me as an economist, I'm like, okay, then why are you doing all these things that are presumably to get men, but you don't have to do them anymore because you don't want men. And beauty, it has no standards anymore. There's no objective beauty standards anymore. So why don't you girls stop doing makeup? Why don't you stop doing your nails?
Well, I kind of agree with the Tempest 5555 in the
Right?
chat said. This is what I was getting at earlier. Like, really feel like girls wear makeup for other girls at this point. You
You think
know,
so?
I really believe that. I think otherwise, because it wouldn't make sense otherwise. Like you're getting at, I think a lot of times when girls go to clubs and things like that, whether they're fat or whatever in
True.
shape, they're dressing up, they're looking all good to do it for their friends, their female friends. I think we're seeing more of that.
So then, see, it's kind of curious. Then they said they'll still do their makeup, but they won't go to the gym. I guess because going to the gym is hard. I think
I
maybe
think it's a lot harder to go to the gym.
it's hard to go to the gym, but it's not hard to get a tattoo. It's not hard to get a piercing. And it's not really that hard. It's maybe a slight chore, but it's not laborious to do your makeup either.
I've never gotten a tattoo or a piercing. I
Well,
don't.
okay, but you lie there and people give it to you.
Yeah, that's
Whereas
true.
going to a gym and running, especially with you, is a laborious chore and taxation.
I don't run in gyms.
And I know you don't, no, neither do I, but you're hard to keep up with. You kick my ass.
Well, when you're eating good food in the situation we were at, it provides plenty of fuel.
Oh, dude, I so miss that food.
Yeah, me too. And I've been
I,
back, a day.
the paradox I keep finding myself in is you can't stay indoors all the time. I know some people have that mentality. Me personally, I can't. And I don't go out to eat because I like eating at these establishments. I do it as a reason to get out of the house. I mean, just to like not be in the same room all the time. And I know I said I would eat at home more, and I did, but the timing worked with this where I'm like, I got an hour and a half. I'll go grab something real quick to eat. You know, Firehouse Subs?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
So there's one not too far away by the mall. And I'm there. I had to take a phone call, and I see a couple and a single guy walk in, and I'm talking for like 10 minutes. So I really wasn't paying attention, but ended my phone call. Then I walk into Firehouse Subs, and I see both of them still sitting there without their food, and the guy behind the counter, the one guy, is still working. I'm like, no, fuck this shit. Because how long is this going to take? So I'm driving around trying to find another place. I never did find a sit-down Japanese restaurant. A lot of Asian-themed food today. But it's just tiring, especially after going to the that Japanese or Asian dessert place with. Oh, by the way, these girls were loud. They were all loud. It was torture, and the only place to sit was outside, so I had to sit by these 4 loud girls. And it's starting to become this paradox where, okay, I got to get out of the house, but 9 out of 10 times it ain't worth it. I come back more pissed off, more angry. Yeah, maybe I got the food, but it wasn't worth it. It was like, yeah, I should have just stayed here, but you can't sit at the same spot forever. In other words, you're going to suffer a mental price no matter which way you go.
Well, you probably saw me do this last week. Like this time of year, I'm just in front of the computer constantly, and it takes its toll on me. So even if I'm not going to go for a run or whatever, I just have to go outside and get some fresh air. It doesn't mean I have to go out to eat. I don't have to go to a coffee shop. I just need to get out for a little while. And that's how I stay balanced with all this.
No. Well, and that's, I'm pretty much figuring out the 3 main places to go, of which you've been to them. And it just because they're reliable, but even in certain times I got to go before the rush gets in so I can get myself a table. But yeah, you got to, and it's not even to get food. It's just to get out, have a coffee or have a cigar or something like that. Yeah. It's not even, I went to the gym today for the same reason. It's like not even really to lift weights or get swole. It was just not to look at the same. And that damn dog. Oh my God. She will not leave me alone because I've thrown the ball more now with her. So now she thinks every time I come home, we're going to go play ball, and it's gotten worse. I wish hot chicks like me as much as that dog does.
Well, dogs are more loyal.
Dogs are, and they're always more happy. I've never had a girl shake her entire body because she was so happy to see me. That's never happened once in all my dating life. Never happened.
Yeah.
No. Let's do this. I got go through the sponsors real quick. We'll hit the super chats because you have to go back to work. This may not be the longest one ever. Today's podcast brought to you in part by Achieving Financial Excellence. That's my latest course offered through Teachable. If you want to get your financial act together, take that one. It's available at the Clary School of Economic Philosophy. So you got that there. The Way of Monkey book by Feces Tossing Simeon.
You can't even say it.
Well,
when I'm able to.
I was listening to them earlier today, and it's always depressing. So I have to listen to it in bits and chunks. Anyway, The Way of Monkey book. I would say the best and most modern book on Stoicism that applies today or today's modern society. Get on Amazon, Way of Monkey book by TFM. Academiccomposition.com. Go to academiccomposition.com to have other people write your college papers for you. Or if you were looking for a job and you want to write and work from home, Alex is always hiring. And then businessbuyeradvantage.com, where you can go talk to David Barnett. And please do talk to him over there before you buy yourself a business. He will analyze the business for you and tell you whether you're about to make the world's worst financial decision you've ever made in your life. That's it. There we go. How's your day so far?
Wasn't bad. Worked the whole time. Made it to the gym, which is always good. Got some sleep. I did want to know if you had a good day yesterday specifically.
What was yesterday?
Your mom knows.
I mean, I didn't have a bad. Oh, that day. That day. Oh, yes. Frankly, no, it wasn't bad either. It was work. I worked on the book. It just blurs together, man. Because when no one's here, I literally spend my entire time by myself here. I said, I was spoiled hanging out with you guys in Dallas. So I came back here, and it's kind of. You ever remember Band of Brothers?
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's about the 101st Airborne in Europe. And there's a scene, I've talked about this before, because it's going to happen to other people's lives for people tuning in. He gets leave. So it's Captain Winters, I think, at that time. So Winters gets leave, and they say, we're sending you to Paris. And this is when the Allies retook Paris. And so it was very nice to go to Paris. So what's really interesting is the filmography of it is they show him and he's always by himself. Like he's taking a bath by himself. He's reading by himself. He's at a cafe and he's not talking to anyone, even though he's surrounded by people. And it's kind of the same thing here. It's like you get here, all there is to do is work because the girl who broke your heart isn't here. She's working all the time. The GF ain't here. There are a couple new people in town, thankfully, new Cappites that I'll probably do a meetup with. But so those guys are around, but I haven't set up a meetup with. But traditional friends I've had have either lost their fucking minds or they've moved out of the state. And you just sit here and do nothing. And so, yeah, I can't remember what I did yesterday because I guarantee you I think I did videos. I can't remember. I'd have to look back. I ran. Oh, and I treated myself because of the day. I got gelato. And Brazilian steakhouse. Went to a Brazilian steakhouse. So I treated myself and that's how. Yes. I did buy a cigar, which I did not smoke yet. I'm gonna smoke that after this. But I did. I had a good day. It was another good day.
Little small white pill for you. I believe yours and mine favorite dentist may be taking a trip out there at the end of next month, if you're still around.
Vegas?
Yeah.
End of next month. End of March?
Yeah, we were talking about that. So probably,
okay. Yeah, I should be here. Yeah. So, I mean, but let me know. When are you and not the girlfriend going to show up? When is that? When do I get to see?
That would be a minimum of, let's see,
April 16th.
56 days away, but who the hell is counting, specifically? But no, I do want to go out there again. It's fun.
Yeah. Well, it should still be here. And there is a 4-legged creature that would love to see you.
Oh, I remember that one.
Yeah. And its name is Athameldecua. That's what it is.
We need to get him there too.
We do. Well, I guarantee you he's going through the same thing. Now, at least he's got his sisters and family kind of to hang out with, but I almost guarantee that guy is just busting his ass off. He works the overnight shift, then he works another job, then he goes to school. I mean, he probably is going through that, what would we call it? Like, it's not that you're lonely, but you have to work the entire time.
I got to cut you off here because he and I were just talking about it in the chat. Atham goes, man, I would love a whole day to myself where nobody bothers me. And then I responded and I go, me too. So maybe after a while.
Okay. All right. Well, when he graduates or you move out of Illinois, whichever happens first.
2030 something.
Yeah. So, all right. You want to get us some super chats?
Yeah. Let's see.
Right, let me go through the first one here.
I think we have a few. So yeah, shouting from the cheap seats. That's a good name. $10. Chad, for tax purposes, what is the location of a checking or savings account, mailing address or branch location? I'm planning to move from Virginia to Florida and want to break all ties with Virginia. The second you get a Florida state driver's license, that's when you've done what you need to do for this. A lot of people think it's where your money is, or it really is supposed to be where your home is. But I mean, if you've got a license from another state, that state can always come back and say, oh, we got to take your income. Yeah.
That's the first thing I did when moving to South Dakota was get my driver's license. And I even went in a little early because there was no, they had no availability in the Rapid City area to do the driving test and all that. So I had to go to Sioux Falls and on my way to Rapid City. So I stopped there, got my driver's license. They gave it to me immediately. It was awesome. It's not like it'll be in the mail. That's always, I was like, wow, you're using like late 80s, early 90s technology to make this happen. That's amazing,
God. It would take a month here.
Oh, yeah. Minnesota was like, you get it in the mail in 4 to 6 weeks. That's like, look, I know you piss away all this money on the Parasites and the welfare bums and the people who burn buildings down and your worthless spoiled children from the suburbs who major in the world's dumbest shit. But out of these billions of dollars, you all piss. Oh, and trains, light rails that no one uses except to shit in. Could you maybe make it that the DMVs for us working normal people who abide by the law, could you get a machine? Could you drop the $1 million on each? It'll be what, $25 million? Could you drop a million a piece so that we have this machine that'll give us our ID right away? It's like, no. Then you get to South Dakota, like, oh shit, things are so much easier here.
Exactly.
What about like a nexus? Because I remember, because I hated Minnesota so much, I still do. Like, I made sure to make sure my dentist was no longer there, my mailing address, bank accounts. I even have a South Dakota bank, all that type of stuff. I mean, is it really just the driver's license?
Well, mailing address is obviously another huge one. You know, if your mailing address is in Minnesota, yet you claim to be in South Dakota, well, you're still in Minnesota. But in reality, you establish a home of residency by changing your mailing address and by getting that driver's license. Like, some of my clients hate this state so much, which is deserved,
Right.
that they get registered agents. And it's not that simple. There's other things about it that I can't really talk about. But
Okay.
they essentially have an Indiana like mail service. They got an Indiana driver's license. Like, everybody thinks that they live in Indiana, even if they're physically located in Illinois.
But okay, if it sucks that much, why not just move to Indiana? Why are they still there? Or is there business there? Like that's where all their clients are? Or, you don't have to mention it, but
No, I can tell you why.
Okay,
This is somebody you know, by the way, and it's because he shares custody. He's divorced. And he shares custody of the son, so he can't. Otherwise, he would have.
I know so many people whose lives have been ruined by that, where they have to stay in a shitty state. I know someone in California. I know someone down in Colorado. It's that we should even talk about that one of these days, about how if you have children and then you get split custody, you cannot avail yourself of other opportunities in the country unless you give your kids up or your ex decides, yeah, we can move there together, but we're just not living it. And guess how many women, Chad, now let's see if you can guess this. Between the husband and the wife, of course, they're divorced. Who do you think wants to stay in Marxist leftist shitholes? And who do you think wants to move to lower tax, lower housing costs, higher standards of living, where there's greater job opportunities? Who do you think, where do you think that division falls along?
2/3 of my clients in this shithole are females. I'll just leave it at that.
Right. It's always the wife that wants to stay, but they got nice weather and beaches.
It's hard to move.
It's hard to move. It's got good schools. I have one guy in particular, probably is listening. Like, they literally could double their standard of living. The whole family, even though they're divorced, they could literally double their standard of living, moving out of California and going to some place like Texas, Virginia, Florida, some place.
Yeah.
And you know why they're still stuck in California?
Because they probably share custody or have a business there. They have to be.
No, they don't. They share custody. And obviously the ex-wife doesn't want to leave. But do you know why she wants to stay there?
God, there's so many reasons, whether it's schools or laziness or family. I mean, did I hit any of those?
What? No, that would make almost sense. Why does every dipshit in California stay there, further widening their asshole so Gavin Newsom would go pull down a Sequoia redwood from Sequoia National Park and shove it up these Californians' ass? Why does every dipshit motherfucking moron in California stay there?
They like the scenery or weather, is my
guess.
The
weather. She likes the beach and the weather.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Because Florida ain't got no beaches and they ain't got no weather either.
Well, yeah, people stay here, but it's not because of the weather. That I can promise you.
No, it ain't for the weather.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Well, then, planning to move Florida, Virginia. Yeah. All right. So you're just saying ID and maybe mailing address, and then he's good to go.
Yeah. It can be done. I'll just leave it at that. So the next one is a very special individual.
Yeah, special is in short, but special. Yeah.
So in this instance, we have a ghost dog that's hovering in between the words "game over."
Ghost dog?
I think it's a dog, or is that a hippo? It's a little hard to tell.
Why is there a ghost dog? Like, because you're dead, the game is over. You're a ghost.
I think, yeah, it looks like a video game thing.
All right. Who's
Uh,
this guy again?
he says there were some people mentioning this in the chat. Yeah, don't take the Fred pill because life isn't that bad. Nobody should ever do
No,
that. Yeah.
no. There, you have all options on the table. Then you can rob banks. You can do the guy. He went down to Mexico, did a bunch of cocaine and whores, and he came back. Life was okay. Figured out. Yeah. And just so you know, my new book, the intro chapter is dedicated to Fred because there's a very important lesson to take from Fred. And I do kind of miss him.
I do too. I really wish I could have met him. He was down the road from me. I'm always gonna kind of be upset about that. But
yeah, well, it's not. I mean, I feel bad, but Fred's the one who made the mistake. He erred.
Yeah,
So it's none of our fault. But yeah, guys, like, Jesus, go hang out or something. Go get. Let me ask you this: how many of these people would probably now? Fred didn't have problems with the women. He was a very attractive man. But do you think if Fred just flew out to Vegas, I picked him up, we hung out, had cigars, then I dropped him off in Pahrump, he got himself a bunch of whores and flew back. Do you think that would have stopped it?
I think it would have maybe stopped it. You see, Fred's issues, we would text about this sometimes, like maybe he could attract women, but he was just really disappointed with what was available to him here.
Right.
And he was trying to make plans to go someplace else. So that's why when it happened, I couldn't figure out, like, why then? Like, why then? But
it's you know, you hit it right on the head because I mean he was, and it's even in the book. I document while keeping him relatively anonymous, just what an accomplished man he was. And he had plenty of girls, but none of these girls were either marriage material or had any interest in marriage. There was no long-term, no hope whatsoever. I'm still saying just having a little bit of fun and engaging in some vice. I think if you're thinking about eating a bullet, please just try this once. I'm no therapist. Fly out to Vegas, get yourself a whore, get laid, see if that doesn't make you feel any better. Right? Not the sex even. Just get it out of your system. Go have some fun, gamble a little bit, even if you lose. What else you got? You're going to lose it all. You're going to kill yourself. So you might as well gamble a little bit. Go have some great food, rent a Ferrari, enjoy life a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
And then when you get back, say, well, is that so bad? I mean, maybe you're a couple thousand poorer for it, but geez, you owe yourself at least one whore before you self-delete. Can we make that a policy?
I think it should be.
Right.
I mean, well, my only 2 cents with this, maybe a little bit out of left field. You should never kill yourself. Don't kill yourself. There's no need to do that. What you should instead do, if you're really, really feeling like you want to do that, just disappear. Go missing. Don't tell anybody where you went. Start a new life if you want to. Just leave.
Are you watching a lot of Mr. Ballin? Is that where you got that idea?
Not just Mr. Ballin, all kind, Dateline 2020 with special somebody. I mean, I love it when people like disappear for years. They're never heard from again. No one knows if they're dead, they're alive. And then like 30 years later, they come rolling around. They're like, oh, hey, what's up? I love that. Dude, oh my God.
Send me the links to that because there's been times where I'm just like, I have had it up to fucking here with this world. And I'm not going to kill myself because I'm too pretty. I'm just too damn pretty for God to let me die. No one's going to get that one. But I just take some money and some cash, go out to Alaska, find a hut or build a hut, and stay the fuck away from society. And then people, come back. Where have you been? The sad thing is, like, my parents would probably be somewhat upset. It's like, maybe I have to say, like, yeah, listen, I'm going to be gone for at least 5 years. I'll check in every once in a while, but don't tell people where I am. But yeah, just to disappear.
Like, if there's something beautiful about it. Now, the reason why I think it's horrible is that, I mean, imagine you're surviving relatives or your family never getting closure because they don't know if you're alive, you're dead. I'm talking people who just go missing and that's it. They're never heard from again.
Well,
so
what would you do?
Selfish.
Right. Would you tell your family or would you just go away? And then me and Atham are like, Where'd Chad go? And we won't even fight over your stuff because you don't have any stuff to fight over. You don't have a car. We don't fit into your clothes. I mean, I guess I want the bobblehead. I guess I'd want the bobblehead.
I should get that. I'll get it if you want. No, I could never really do that because I would feel too terrible about what I would be putting, my loved ones through. But I mean, I've also never reached, I don't believe I've ever come close to reaching a point where I think Fred might have reached to have wanted to do what he did. So when you're at that point, I think you just don't care.
What's scary is how little indication there was.
Yeah.
I have this one friend who I've known him for 25 years. And if you ask me who's going to kill himself, I put my money on that guy, but he didn't. And now that I think about it, the people who seem most depressed, at least they're getting it out. Yeah. If that makes any sense. Like they're emoting, and that's why bad things happen to this guy. So not saying it was irrational or unreasonable, but he's still alive. Fred, I had no clue. I'm wondering how often that is. Like if someone bumps themselves off, like how many people were expecting it?
10 days before Fred made his decision, he had invited me to his company holiday party, but I was already in Texas for the holidays, on my way somewhere else.
Right.
So that's why I feel kind of bad, because it's like, I couldn't have changed anything, I'm sure, but I just wish I could have met him.
Yeah, no, I wish I could have met him before he left. Actually, it's kind of scary because I've been writing now for 18 years. The blog started 2004. So I've had fans and readers, more from the blog, obviously, who've died now through natural causes or accidents, not suicide. But they've died simply because of old age. One old guy out in Wyoming, I remember driving out there. I thought it was like so cool. Somebody wanted to meet me. And I was more than happy to drive out to this no-name town in Wyoming. And we went to the local diner and he bought me lunch. It was really cool. And I got an email. Oh, he passed away. The guy was like mid-70s by that time. But it was still like, that's the way to go. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm glad I got to meet him. He had a what's it called? A ammo box that also served as a tripod for your gun. So if you were out and you had a fight and you didn't want to carry a tripod, this also doubled as a tripod for you to put your gun into. So it was really kind of cool. And he made that. But he then passed away. A couple other people have passed away. Some people got killed in accidents. But that was all death. None of them were suicide.
Suicide. Yeah. I can't imagine the amount of pain you have to be in to commit suicide. So, I mean, it must have been pretty bad.
I can see the logic. Like, I totally understand it in a logical theorem on paper. If you were to organize it, it's like, if you don't have it, and a lot of the reason I wrote this book was because of Fred, because he didn't, there wasn't going to be marriage, or increasingly not looking like that. Well, dude, he's not the only guy facing that. That's nearly every man in the West. The Koreans, the Japanese, the Chinese, they're not even West or first world, but I mean, they're there. Certainly the Anglosphere, former British Empire. I don't know about the Middle East and how rapidly feminism is spreading through those cultures and communities. But I could see it's like, okay, you don't have love. You don't have family. You're not going to have kids. Now, I'm okay not having kids, never really wanted a family, but most people want that. And now with that off the table, like, boy, you really got to find a purpose and reason to live. And so I can see it where, and then it'd be one, let me ask you this. Do girls leave the guys alone?
Well, you mean, no. I mean, if you're asking what I think you're asking, no.
Like, we don't like men anymore. We hate you. We don't need you. Okay, fine, go away. No, they don't leave you alone. They pass laws that give them preferential hiring treatment. They make increasingly things that were considered normal, albeit perhaps not polite, behaviors of men, like, wolf whistling. Should you spank a girl on the ass? No, you should not. But that will land you in prison now. And just constantly hectoring, like they didn't go away. I could see there where that would wear on somewhere. It's like, yeah, I don't want to be in this community anymore. But hey, guess what you can do?
You can leave
You can leave to where?
anywhere that's not the location that you're in.
You know Seth Himes?
I do, yeah.
Yeah. So he just posted a video on Instagram of him on his island in Thailand. He doesn't own the island, but he's on an island in Thailand. He's been there for 8 months.
He probably doesn't think very highly of me, because when you had that stream over Thanksgiving, I came on like twice and got off after like 1 second because I couldn't talk. So anyway.
Oh no, he doesn't hate you.
Oh no, I just meant he's probably like, who the hell is that jerk?
Anyway, but for God's sake, get some whores in Pahrump, go to a beach in Thailand, go ride a motorcycle down the Tierra del Fuego, go do the Roosh trip around South America, do something. But by God, like, ending it early.
The only other thing I want to say about Fred was that, and of course, like, we don't know if there was stuff that he never told us about that may have been a bigger contributing factor besides just a women thing. So it could be that. I don't know, but he was pretty cynical about rightfully cynical about the situation here, at least.
Right. No, I mean, who knows? He could have had a chemical imbalance as well.
Yeah.
But I do believe it was not a helping factor. I believe it was definitely a contributing factor. Yeah.
Yes. This place it did not help.
No, it did not. So, I mean, for the feminists who hate men, you want to kill them. There's good news for you girls. You help push some guy over the edge. Congratulations for you girls. But on a a tragic reality, it's like, yeah, guy. And here's another thing. Let's say it was that. All right. And only that. You can't let these girls win like that. You can't let feminists win like that. Like, you should live in spite of feminism. You should live to piss them off by your existence. Like, no, I'm not going. Hell no. I'm not bumping myself off. I'm going to go have fun. I mean, if anything, go live a life in complete ignorance of the feminists and go have your fun. Like, nope, I'm out of here. I'm going overseas to find a traditional girl. Oh, that pisses them off.
Oh, I hate that.
You can't get laid in America. I don't care. Bye. See you. Here's this nice, doting, whatever, Cambodian girl, and she makes me food, and she's really nice. Oh, they hate it. I mean, at minimum, do that. Just at minimum, go get, even though it won't work and there's other drawbacks to it, go get a mail order bride before you bump yourself off.
Yeah.
All right, happy topic. Let's go more super chats.
Hold on, let me scroll back. I'm doing this whole separate chat or conversation in the chat. Renegade Show for $10. The fempowerment movement is about destroying the value of younger women to enable and elevate the old washed-up cackling hens that no one wants to date. Also, misery loves company, right? Isn't that why they do it?
Yeah, I don't think there's any one singular cause of all these issues and trends that we're seeing. There certainly is that crabs in the bucket mentality, but the more and more I look at it, I'm subscribing more and more to the theory that women for the longest of times were kept women and were quasi hostage because they were beholden to a man. They needed their survival. And I don't know how else to describe it, but over the years, I think natural human instinct is to be free. But over the years, women genetically built up not a resilience, it starts with RE. Resentment. They built up, there was this base level resentment that they were, no man put them in cackles in chains or shackles and chains, but they were still, I don't want to say slave, but they were dependent. They needed a guy. And now that they have this freedom, either through the welfare state or their career or both, I think there's this unconscious, instinctual retribution. Because I got a question for you, Chad. This is going to be a very hard question. I want you to ponder this, right? Let's see if you...
Okay.
Have you ever oppressed a woman?
Oh, I've been told I've been oppressed.
No. Have you ever prevented a girl from doing anything she wanted?
No. I
Have you
can.
ever have you ever been married and kept a woman?
No.
All right. Did you ever I'm trying to think what they did in the olden days. Unless you were joking, of course. Did you ever be at some kind of social function where it was just guys at the beginning and a woman walked in and say, hey, no women, get out of here. The men are talking now. Did you ever do that?
No, that's a one-way street though. But no, I've never done that.
My point is, it's like slavery. I didn't own slaves. You didn't
Mm-mm.
own slaves. No black person alive today, unless you're in a foreign country, in America, I mean, is a slave. But oh my God, we're guilty of the slavery committed by people not even related to us.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at immigration. So, okay, fine. For generations ago, we're talking now, at least 3 or 4. Maybe you could say the World War II generation, you had traditional role models, but certainly the boomers and absolutely Gen X and later, you've had this equal, okay, you're not the kept woman anymore. You can do whatever you want. Oh God, where was I going with this? Oh, but they still treat us like we were keeping these women in the 1820s on the frontier or something like that.
Hmm.
They're holding us responsible. It's like, we didn't do anything, ladies. Fuck off. It's just, no offense, but fuck you. Like, go away.
It's just frustration because they cannot attract quality guys that they want, so they have to join this trade union for unappealing women.
But do you think so? I think they really. I'm starting to get the impression they don't like guys, and that was my. I'm sorry. Let me connect it. So it still seems that there is a genetic holdover, like your genes keep score for your race, because the syndicate wouldn't keep track of this. The syndicate is beyond. The syndicate would be above this, but you keep track. Like the Scotch probably still hate the British a little bit, even though it's like, well, there ain't no really reason. Do they? Okay. So I'm thinking that this resentment has now carried over, and that girls never really wanted guys that much to begin with in the first place. And if you look at their behavior, I think it kind of corroborates it, because how many girls did you have to ask out to get one on a date?
God, I'm an accountant and I don't even know what that number could be. It was
at least 5, right?
It's yes.
Right. How many girls asked you out in your lifetime?
Not that many, but it has happened before.
It has happened, right?
Guarantee it was by nobody I wanted to go out with.
Right. But you could put it on one hand how many girls asked you out, right?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, right. I'm just saying, step back, look. I don't think girls really like guys that much. So I don't think maybe some of it is jealousy. They don't want younger girls getting that. I know that girls might be competitive and backstabby. I don't know if you've heard that or not. I don't know if you've heard
not
that.
News to me.
Right. But I actually think what explains this more is not that it's older women trying to prevent younger women. Because it's the younger women, I don't think it's fake. It seems very genuine and visceral. Their disinterest in men, and that's putting it very politely.
Yeah. It's kind of a shame that if they're not interested in men, they can't just, go on with their life instead of start saying, we don't need no men. I don't understand that, but
well, that's a point in your favor, because then it shows they still kind of care, like they want that guy.
Yeah.
But it really gets back to the, well, why are you putting on makeup thing? Like, if I really wanted nothing to do with women, you know what I do?
You just wouldn't talk or interact or do anything with them.
I'd be like, I'm out of here. And even to, got a girl, and frankly, I don't really care that much about, I mean, I don't want women. I wish them the best, obviously. Yeah. But in terms of the dating, the only reason I even address it is because this is the number one thing on guys' mind. And I also find it fascinating because there's huge economic consequences to whether or not men or women get together. But for me personally, like, I don't go to the strip clubs. I'm not going and like, oh, I can't wait to talk to the girls.
The girls.
I
just want to give you a heads up. For whatever reason, like the chat here is not letting these. It's like going away after 40 minutes, so I have to rely on you for these chats.
Right.
Like they're not. Yeah.
All right.
The Geth for $5. Brew, literally the same day I saw your onesie video, that night I saw a 40-something black woman on a pink bummy onesie at the grocery store at 11 p.m.
Yep.
Yeah, that's... Ugh. I
Yeah.
didn't see that video, but
It's see, and the problem is he said 40 something. The people, there was the 20-year-old kid. The other gal I saw was in her 40s or certainly her late 30s. This is grown fucking adults doing this shit. I'm not kidding. It's something like that where I'm like, all right, I got to leave this culture. I already didn't like this culture to begin with. But if you have I'm being deadly serious. If you got full grown adults thinking this is acceptable, like, fuck you. I want nothing to do with this country. I really don't. And I have to watch it because what do you think my initial reaction was when I saw that kid in his stupid onesie costume outfit?
Probably something along the lines of, I need to go throw up.
No, violence. It was violence.
Okay.
No. I'm not advocating violence. I'm just saying that it's like you see some black dude with his pants like 2 inches above his knees. What's your gut reaction?
I don't understand it.
Pull him down. Well,
yeah,
pull him down. Like, not pull him up. They're not going to do that. You pull him down.
Pull him down. Just Tornado Kid was in the chat earlier. I don't know if he still is, so I just wanted to say what's up. All right, Alex Patino for $5. Come on, Cappy, don't give away Operation Evil. I want to profit off selling cosmetics.
Well, the new book I'm writing, which by the way is called The Menu, Life Without the Opposite Sex. And it's a menu. Gives you a menu of all the things you can do in life without the opposite sex. There's both a male and female menu. So it is also written for women. And this is my first foray into Operation Evil, because now I'm writing for a female audience, and I am not going to try to sell purpose and meaning and love and family or STEM degrees or anything like that. I'm taking a purely Machiavellian, self-serving approach to it and giving the legitimate, authentic, logical, and economic rationale as to why both men and women can go and essentially live a life of hedonism. But this will be very interesting to see how this resonates with a female audience. But this isn't full on Operation Evil. This is just, I'm testing a couple things so that once I get the results back, then I can go to my evil labs and the evil layer and concoct an even, like, a purified product for Operation Evil down the road.
I'll bet you need a bathroom break.
No, do you?
Well, I wanted to get another beer.
Okay, we'll get another beer. All right, I'll put everything on.
I'll be back in 60 seconds. Okay. So who watched the Olympics? I didn't watch a single minute of it, and I'm proud of that. What am I drinking? This is called Pinball. It's like a pale ale. It's a local Illinois one. It's only 4.9%, so it's nothing crazy, but it really does taste very, very good. So I like it. I don't think you can get it outside of Illinois. Yeah, see you guys in the chat. You didn't watch it either. I mean, first of all, it was in China, and so it's like, what the hell? The other thing is that the Summer Olympics, I didn't think were that interesting. That was just last summer. So it's like, who really cares about all this? I was more annoyed that some of the, there's a couple shows I like on NBC and they weren't airing them, like Dateline, and they weren't airing them because of the damn Olympics. I was just bragging about how I didn't watch a single minute of the Olympics.
Oh, neither did I. I
A lot
was
of
over
people
at
didn't.
I was at the Japanese restaurant, and they had like the analysis, and they had well, hang on, let me show you the guy. I took a picture of it because it's just like, and it's not like I'm anti non-binary or gay rights or anything. I actually am pro, but I'm just like, at what time can you see this?
uh
Here, can you see that?
Kind of. There's a reflection. It looks like there's an Asian athlete you're showing.
No, it's not Asian. It's a guy.
Just a guy.
I think it's a guy.
Just looks like a guy. Are they on a medal stand or what are
No,
they singing?
no, he's not singing. There.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah. That's it's a white dude,
It is?
I think. Yeah, but his hair's all it's the same thing as the onesies.
Oh, yeah.
They're doing it for shock value. And so that was one outfit he had on. And in the time I ate my sushi, just one roll of sushi, and looked back up, he had changed into a ridiculous V-shaped white outfit that with white boots. And look, go ahead, wear whatever you want, but I know what you're doing. You're trying to like shock people. You're trying to like, it's not to be edgy. You're trying to get like the old man to yell at the clouds, that's what the onesies are. They're not doing it because it looks fashionable. They're doing it because they got nothing fucking better to do but piss people off. That's it. It's like, look, man, you want to be gay or bi or maybe wear some fun. That's fine. And you could even do that if you wanted to. But whatever sports and now, I think it was NBC, they damn well brought him in for shock value, where it's like, okay, are you even going to talk about the Olympics? Or are you just going to put a fucking schmuck in an outfit on up here? Like, oh my God, look how edgy he is. Like, is this is your marketing plan?
It was all like they had talking points and an agenda and these human interest stories. This is why I didn't watch. I never watch it, but in the summertime when I watched a little bit, it was too much of that. So I was like, they're just going to do the same thing this time. Safety Doc is in the chat. So
cool. The Blue Wrench. You ever see Undercover Boss?
A couple times, yeah.
Yeah, I watched. I don't know if it was the first season they did. I'm like, oh, that's kind of interesting how they did that. But then, where every time they'd find, it became a formula. It became a fucking formula.
Mm-hmm.
There'd be some poor employee who was poor. Why? What did they do?
They probably had kids without being able to afford them.
Yes, they had more kids than they could afford, or they made stupid choices.
Yeah.
So single mom, poor guy, whatever. And then the boss say, and that's why there'd always be the personal piece. Oh, things have been really hard ever since I had my 7th kid by the 3rd guy. Da da da. And then the boss come in, and that's why I'm donating money to buy you a new trailer. I'd be like, fuck that shit. And then just like, no, it's no longer about that. It's cool. Undercover boss. Hey, the employees don't know he's the boss. And you could learn a lot of good things like managerial stuff, ethics, profitability, things like that. The clandestine nature of it, that's very entertaining. But all you Americans got so fucking little going on in your life. You all have to have this, like, it's like a political piece of genitalia you just add on. And you need to constantly stroke because you all ain't got nothing else in life. And it has to be this leftist nonprofit bullshit.
Always.
Yeah. Always. And it ruins everything. It's like, I don't need prosthetic leftist genitalia attachment to be masturbated in front of me every fucking show I got to see. It doesn't have to have a fucking donation to the Susan G. Komen Foundation all the time.
Yeah, I know what you mean. And I think that show comes on either CNBC or something similar where, it's all those same talking points.
Well, it's the same stuff. And then, well, am I happy that people are injured or paralyzed or paraplegic?
Of course not.
No, it's horrible. I don't need to see every fucking story about a paraplegic guy who did something really good, really fast. Like if I'm watching the Paralympics, which, okay, I would like to see that. That's fine. But I don't need to be reminded all the time that, oh, hey, by the way, did you know there's a guy who isn't as, he doesn't have use of all of his appendages and he threw a basketball. And just shut the fuck up. All this nonprofit, all this, we so much fucking care. Knock it the fuck off. Just have a fucking show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Bacon 223. Keep in mind it takes an hour to apply makeup. Yeah, it takes a while, I'm sure.
I don't know how Mary Jo does 2 hours a day. A day. 2 hours?
At least an hour and sometimes longer. So wow. Like we went to Hawaii, several years ago and everybody was ready to leave. And it's just, we couldn't because my mom was like, just a minute. And
I'd leave. I would just like, man, you could get a taxi cab. See you. And I like Mrs. Elkins. I like her.
Taboo Smash $4.99. If you depend on makeup to go outside, you better go under the knife. Well, a lot of people wear makeup.
These girls, they didn't have anything wrong with their face. They just, I'm looking at them. I'm like, okay, you're fat. You obviously don't care about guys. And maybe ideologically you don't care either. Why are you bothering with the makeup?
Yeah, it's odd. Alex Patino, $5. When I was 23 years old, I noticed that gals dolling up was not for her man, but just posturing and trying to impress or one up their girlfriends or frenemies. See, I think I'm more in that camp.
All right, yeah. That would explain the phenomena I witnessed, because you look at it, but it wasn't a nightclub. But I guess it doesn't matter. Anytime there's a group of girls, you gotta look better than Tina.
Yeah. Whereas we can hang out and we don't even notice what the other person looks like or is wearing.
God. So I was on Fresh and Fit, and tomorrow that video should drop where I have, not kidding, 3 late sex workers on my right, 3 sex workers on my left, and either stripping or outright prostitution. Which again, I'm fine. Okay, you can do that. But this one girl, and it was so sad. She was like 20. She wasn't even 21. Hasn't screwed up her life yet. The thinnest out of all of them. Had nails like Wolverine out to here.
Really?
And I'm looking at it. Yeah. And I'm like, wait, somebody, there has to be a league of extraordinary black women out there that come up with these things. Like, okay, I got an idea. $800 weaves. All right, now I got another idea. We all look like Hugh Jackman and Wolverine. Like, I'm not kidding. They were like 4 or 5 inches long. And like, how do you even pump gas? How do you do this?
Did that ever come up throughout this whole show?
Yeah. We made fun of her. We started calling her, hey, it's X-Men. Oh, what do you like?
X-Men.
And like, how do you pump gas? So you have to like put your claws in first, and they're very expensive and they always break. And it's like, yeah, but it looks like shit. Like, shouldn't the League of Extraordinary Black Women have at least one straight male advisor to come in and say, look, ladies, I don't know what line of logic you used to come to the conclusion that looking like Wolverine was a good idea, but no, don't do it. But then I wonder if they'd even list like, you don't tell us anything. This is beautiful. She's amazing. And but she wasn't the only one I've seen with that. I've seen that on another gal, again, black lady, where she was at another restaurant trying to eat. And I'm like, I didn't want to look too much because she was with her family, but I just kind of like, how do you hold the knife? How do you hold the fork? Do we got any more?
There's
Are
plenty
you, are you
more.
flying blind? Oh, we got plenty more?
I'm kind of flying blind. This isn't the last you have, is it?
No, I'm just you know who this is?
I don't know if I've met this one before.
You gotta look out for these girls, man. They just come in here and think they own the see, another one Atham let through. Atham is a horrible bouncer. Horrible bouncer.
Man, we need better quality control.
All right, but we got a female opinion on this, so here we go.
A very valuable female opinion. Makeup is instant gratification and a lot easier than getting on a treadmill. Even though they meet more men at the gym, go get you a boba tea.
Boba tea.
Boba tea. Yeah. I mean, she's right, because doesn't everybody look for like the low-hanging fruit, the
Right.
solution that, requires the least amount of effort?
But it's never a solution.
Well, I think a lot of women think that they can just sort of hide whatever they're trying to hide behind makeup. But I mean, there's no makeup for an overweight woman. I
No.
mean, there's even like, except for pictures, which I've talked to you about this, I don't understand how some people can appear one way in pictures and then differently in real life. And I mean drastically. I'm not
I've
just saying,
seen it happen and it is magic. I'm like looking and I'm looking and I'm looking and I'm looking. I'm like, how the hell did you do that? Um,
there's no
yeah,
makeup for a fat body. There just isn't.
there isn't. But, and this is, did you ever watch the video? Um, God, what did I title it? But I figured out what women want and I call it PMS. And that's how I remembered it. It's not a premenopausal or whatever. It is the perfect mental state. And where you would ask, well, why does a girl wear makeup if she's overweight? It doesn't work. That's not what they want. They want to believe that wearing makeup works. And
Yeah.
that's why they put it on. And what are your chances of getting women to realize that it's not makeup, but the body fat? What are your chances of getting women to realize that?
I think it would be very difficult for most of them to accept the fact that, there's not always a quick and easy solution when it comes to being attractive.
Pretty close. Let me show you how the PMS works, right? The rule is they will not accept anything but the perfect mental state.
Mhm.
And the thing about a mental state is you can, through cognitive dissonance and delusional self-telling lies, you can maintain that state. So if it is a law that perfect mental state must be maintained at all times, what are the chances of you convincing a fat woman that she should lose the weight and it isn't the makeup?
I think that's going to be almost impossible.
No, not almost. It is.
Yeah.
I am so convinced I have women dialed in on this. I have them zeroed in. It explains so much behavior. They will not relinquish the comfort that comes from that perfect mental state.
Yeah.
And so even though we're living in the real world and you look at it like, look, if you want to meet a guy, no. What do they want, Chad?
They want PMS.
They want the perfect mental state
PMS.
more than they want a guy. And so
Yeah.
that's why so it is zero. And so once I figured that out, I have been alleviated of a lot of frustration that comes from what in the real world is contradictory behavior. But now that I understand it, now I just say, oh, they're going for the PMS. The PMS cannot be disturbed. It cannot be disturbed.
Yeah, I try to avoid women with PMS anyway.
Oh.
Oh.
All right, I'm scrolling. Maybe there's a lot of. Is there anyone abusing the chat room?
I don't see anything like
We got a
that.
lot. This is a very lively chat.
Yeah, I've been in some of it. I'm just hoping you can get all the ones that have already come. I think you're still able to
I
see.
think I'm able to. Yeah.
Yeah.
YouTube actually did a good thing. They made it so I can scroll through the whole thing and get all the super chats.
Okay, because for whatever reason I can't do that now.
Right.
Rational irrationality for $5. Unfortunately, no girl is marriage material these days. Some men are hooked, though, and emotions run high. Men need to make their own purpose in some way.
Right. It's sadly become to that. Usually you'd have wife and kids. That's not on the table anymore, guys. You have to. I know Rollo says find your own, you're your own point of origin or
Doesn't Rich Cooper say that? Like
Rich Cooper says that, but
yeah.
I don't think they realize how important it is because you need a reason to live. And let's just be honest, both men and ladies, we ain't going to give each other a reason to live. The men are going to be fat, soy boy, millennial, basement dwellers who collect government checks, which is what you voted for, girls. So just pointing that out. So you got what you wanted, but it's not what you want to marry. And we're definitely not getting what we want in terms of marriageable women. And both people are now going to be put where it's like, all right, well, what do I do in life? And that's a very important thing to answer. Fred couldn't answer that.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's, but I mean, I still keep it out there. Sometimes there is a nice girl that makes you a meal or maybe a cake every once in a while. Sometimes the girls that get you bobbleheads too. Did you know that? Sometimes girls do that.
It's quite refreshing when it happens after years of absolute pitiful experiences.
You almost want to take a stick and poke it. Like, is this real?
Yeah.
Is this real?
When
Is
do
it a
I wake
hologram?
up?
What is this? Gotta poke it. What's this?
Have I been asleep this whole time and this was a dream?
Does he tuck the penis in somewhere? Where's the penis? When do they take off the mask and it's Atham playing a cruel joke?
Atham is hanging in the chat tonight. That's why it's so lively. A future accountant for $5. Al Bundy had the best quote about women. Son, don't try to understand women. Women understand women and they all hate each other. That show could never go on today. It just couldn't. It's a great show.
It would be good. I didn't know why it was so funny. Now that I'm older and I've dated, now that I'm Al Bundy's age, I'm like, I get it. That's why it's funny.
He has so many good one-liners that couldn't be said today.
There's some hot Playboy playmates that came through that show.
There were.
Some good-looking girls. A place to go after you be a Playboy playmate.
Cynic for $5. I was kind of talking with him in the chat about this earlier. He asks, is it better to be paid as a contractor via 1099 or through his LLC? He's currently working full-time for only one client. So now this is, this because I explained it to you. Like an LLC and 1099, they're the exact same thing unless you elect what's called S Corp status, because there's something called a disregarded entity. If there's only one owner of the LLC, it's no different than not having an LLC tax-wise. So that's why we elect S Corp status. So I was just telling him in the chat that it makes absolutely no difference.
Good. I'm actually real proud of him. He does van life. And this is the guy whose dream is like, okay, here's a perfect example. So Cynic in Chief, highly skilled individual in STEM. I don't want to give away what he does. Obviously, he has a side gig, self-employed. He does van life, but you know what he enjoys most in life?
What's that?
He travels the country and he goes to all the roller coaster rides.
Really?
Yeah. That's what he does, man. He's like Johnny Appleseed, except it's roller coasters.
Roller coasters.
And it's something to do. You know what it's better than?
It's better than like doing nothing and getting
better than suicide. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Cynic for $2. If you're going to go, take some bastards with you. That's
which we do not endorse here.
Yeah,
we would never endorse that. that is no, don't do that.
Yeah.
Do not endorse that.
Joseph Jones for $5. You're smart, wealthy, and handsome. Why aren't you married yet? Me. That is a question that answers itself.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. I do have some clients that are confirmed bachelors for life. They have so much money. They date. They even get into serious relationships, but they will not marry.
Do not marry. Do not marry. Do not cohabitate. Do not marry. She can have a house right across the street from you, but you do not marry. Do not cohabitate.
Confident man for $5. Still dependent on men. They just don't want to admit it. Most of them don't want to do the work. Others can't do the work.
Yeah, I've met independent women. They exist. Some of them are out there, but usually they're not the ones screaming about how independent. Let me ask you, Chad. The girl who screamed the most about how independent she was, did she not fully rely on her dad for everything?
You would not believe, not just him, but me.
Right.
And you would not believe how the claws would come out when I would point out the hypocrisy and fallacy of that. Like, then why am I paying most of the rent?
Well, you make more.
Basically.
Yeah.
Like, it's not my fault. Well, I don't want to get into it.
No, you don't have to get into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was weird, but for the longest time, most of the girls I dated made more money than me.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, for the longest time. Wasn't until I did asshole consulting that I actually start making like anything approaching the median wage in the United States. But yeah, so but every girl I was dating before, but women were so oppressed, Chad. Dude, there were so many girls where like they'd have the job that I would dream of having. Like, why can't I get that job? And then like, I don't know, my dad just got it for me. Oh, my grandfather's the number 3 guy here. Oh, they had this program for women. And I'm like, and no offense to these girls, but most of them are fucking morons. Like I was way like, what? How? Huh? You make 60 grand a year. This is in like, the early aughts. Like what? How? Are they hiring? Oh, no, they're not hiring. Oh, okay. Well, you just got to apply yourself more. No.
I'm not going to follow up with anything after this comment, but you would be surprised, kind of amazed at what public accounting was like during tax season. I'm not going to say anything else about that.
I guess
Regarding,
it was busy, wasn't it?
yeah, so you would hope everybody can do their job and
Oh,
doesn't need,
no.
yeah.
No.
No,
May I ask, did a certain group of people crack more regularly? Like they couldn't handle the pressure?
you know what? I have to be fair about that.
They didn't?
Now remember, a lot of people go to public accounting straight out of
Right.
undergrad, and I didn't do that. I had some real, but no, there were a lot of younger, but there were dudes that were just like, I didn't know it would be this terrible.
Oh, the guys were cracking too,
Some of them, yeah,
Wow.
yeah, yeah.
Well, you girls got those strong masculine men you always wanted.
Yeah, they didn't know what they were getting into. Content Man for $2. Yeah, I saw this earlier. In the YouTube chat, you cannot say that women depend on men. It won't let you do that in a
What?
super chat. It's
What
just
did
getting
what did
bad.
Competent Man? Still dependent. Uh-oh. Man, the day is coming. I mean, I've resigned myself to the fact that I will be going to an alternative platform some point in time. Was something wrong? Is there
Sorry.
something wrong?
No, they don't allow dogs in this building, and I'm hearing this really loud dog barking. Anyway, sorry.
Well, we can't hear it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was saying, like, the day is coming. And it may even be that I leave YouTube where it's like I'm getting so sick and tired of having to watch my speech. Like, I understand you got to sell it for marketing. Like, this is why this video is not going to be monetized. But the super chats, come on, really? And we can't even say Mexican. Meanwhile, we got a Mexican friend in there all the time. How can we pick on him if we can't make Mexican jokes?
Yeah, that probably
All we do,
pisses
the
him off more
Latino
than us.
syndicate. Yeah.
Yeah. Compton Man again. They appear disinterested in men because men are simping and showering them with cash and prizes, become interested when they hit the wall and stops.
Mhm.
So yeah, they're enjoying the attention. And then when it starts to dry up, they're ready for these men, but the men have moved on to the
Yeah,
younger.
no, I know, but this is all regular. I mean, we could consider this 101 or the associate's level education. What I'm trying to do, and Competent Man, I love you. I know he is the hooer of the red pill community. He's always around. I always like to move, like, I think we have some pretty established laws, axioms, a very functional praxeology where it's like, okay, now we can move on. And I always like to have things be practical. So I think that both men and women, that's why I'm opening up my next book to women. There's an existential crisis. Like, what do you do? And that get a lot of requests. Like, I got my money, I got no debt, da 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 da. I really want to start a family and kids, but it's not forthcoming. What do I do? That's like the most common question I'm getting now, obviously predominantly for men, but also a fair amount of women. So I kind of like to move on. Like, we know, yes, girls hit wall, and then we're all good men gone. Simps bail them out. We got it. But I say we go ahead and move on to more practical manners.
Okay, Juan. Juan, I don't know if you can see this. He just has
a little finger up. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can see that. Okay.
Speaking of exes that make their former husband's lives miserable. So Juan took his kids out on the Great American Road Trip. Guess what?
What?
Had to turn back early because the ex-missus had a problem or something.
Really?
Yeah, these poor kids. I won't say where they were because we don't want to get busted or nothing, but they were all having a good time. I was getting pictures. Little kids have big old smile. They fed the burros in Arizona. Yeah. They had a grand old time. Had to cut it early. Had to go back.
Man.
Like, guys, don't get married. Just don't get married. And I don't know how you can do it with the kids, but if you have kids, before you have them, like, get a contract that says, hey, we move where I say we move. Or I'm rapidly becoming part of the philosophy. Look, if the girl's got it for half the time, the kids, I mean, you let her have it full time and you leave, you come back when they're 18. and you start your relationship there, because I've seen so many men waste their life savings trying to get more custody out of their kids. And the kids are still brainwashed to hate you. I would just like throw in the top. Fine, they're yours. I'll see you kids when you're 18. Come talk to me. I'm getting some feedback. Are you
It's not me. I was just saying might be some noise anyway, it's fine. Right. Shouting from the cheap seats for $2. Cappy, will the book cover the other 200 genders?
No, will not.
Oh, you're gonna get killed for that one.
I don't give a damn. I don't care. There's this huge underserved market in the United States. Hang on. I'm gonna get in and get out. I'll be back.
Okay. All right, you guys, while he's gone, ask me anything and I will answer it quickly. I won't sing, so don't worry about that. There's some dog here that's like really loud, and they don't allow that in our building.
Check. How's that?
I can hear you fine. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's more of an echo that I got. Nah, it's gone now. Okay. We got a lot of super chats coming in. See, you. Oh, should I start a podcast? I don't know. Look at this. Oh, you got these super chats, and I got to share them with you. That's the other thing. I got to share them with you.
Oh, I know you hate that.
All right, Joseph Jones.
Joe Jones for $2. Be a global citizen like the Tate brothers. Do you know who the Tate brothers are?
Yeah.
Who are they?
I think they run a porn empire out of Romania.
Romania?
Yeah. Oh, darn it. Since I went out and came back in, I can't get to all the old.
It's okay. I might
be able to do it.
Yes. I'm actually.
Cool. Yeah, all right, let's go through it. All right, go ahead. Good.
So the next one is be a global citizen. The next one I have is from Cynic. So you don't get this?
I don't got it. Go ahead.
Okay, Cynic asks for $2. The Olympics Pink Panther cartoon is better. While you were gone, we took that first break. I asked if anybody was watching the Olympics, and I was proud that I hadn't seen a single second of it.
Event,
yeah, they were talking about that.
So wait, was the Pink Panther? Did they draw like kind of a cartoon of the Pink Panther doing Olympics, but they call it the Olympics?
They probably did something stupid about that.
Well, if the Pink Panther is cool, that'd be kind of fun to watch.
He's
right?
cool. I'm just saying, they probably turned the Pink Panther into something crappy because that's what they do.
Yeah.
The next one I have after that is from Donna Hannaford, $5 Australian.
She's down there.
Yeah. And she asks, is the new book going to be $130 Aussie dollars and take 4 months to get here like the Millennial book was?
Did it take $130?
Australian.
Oh my God. Dude, if that happens, just let me know. I could order it, get a physical copy here, and then put it in the mail. It's got to be able to be cheaper than that. I didn't know it was $130 Australian.
What's the exchange rate?
Hopefully not. It's not that bad. I think Australia's like 1.3 to 1.
Well, that's expensive then.
Yeah, 30% more expensive, but no, it shouldn't be. So I hope not. But all right, what's the next one?
Next one is Nick Gilbert, software quality engineer. It says
boom, software quality engineer.
I like that. $5. Russia and Ukraine will end COVID like how World War II ended the Great Depression. I gotta be honest, I have not been following that.
You're Russia and Ukraine?
Yeah, because I don't watch the news, and anytime there's an article on it, I'm just like, whatever.
The last time the media talked about Russia, they were all lying, so I'm not really caring about Russia. And you know something? Putin ain't stupid enough to start a war with the United States.
No, he's if nothing else, Putin, I think, is very rational. So
I have more faith in Putin than I do any fuckwit currently in the West running democracies right now. I don't know one person in the traditional NATO allies. Well, I guess maybe Hungary and Poland, they might have some leaders, but no, I'm cheering Team Putin right now.
Okay, the next one is from Ryan Bart for $10, who asks, who actually watched the Olympics? I don't know a single person who watched it. Not a single one.
Neither did I.
Yeah, well, I'm very encouraged by that because there's nothing good about the Olympics.
What did he say?
No, he just asked. That was it. He just asked. I
Oh,
don't
okay.
know. Yeah, did anybody watch it? And most people in the chat were like, "No, I didn't even know it was going on." I think that's very encouraging.
I don't say this to kiss everyone's ass. We are much smarter than the average person out there. And you usually have some more intellectual pursuit than to watch, okay, they did. And I don't mind, like, some of the diving is kind of cool, or, some of the snowboarding is pretty neat, but it's, how is it different than 4 years ago? We just have better things going on in our lives to, well, the ice skating. Oh my God. Well, they're dancing on ice again. How do you judge that? I don't know. Her ankle was turned the perfect way.
Well, one possible thing is that like the Olympics are supposed to be more spread out, summer and winter, and they just had the Summer Olympics because of COVID. So maybe that had something to do with it.
Don't care.
Thomas Rao for $9.99. Front page photo I saw in the newspaper, guy standing in the free food line with new Chevy truck and smoking. Caption said he needs free food because he lost his office job due to COVID. Can't make this up. Yeah, people are never willing to sacrifice anything.
I'll tell you another story. Just in y'all think, oh, it's Shaniqua, the welfare mom. No way, man. It is not. I had a buddy lives in the highest end neighborhood. I'm sorry, not the highest end. That would be Paradise Valley. The second highest end neighborhood in Phoenix. Worked at a gas station, and when they had the housing crisis, all these people with brand new SUVs pulling up, using like an EBT card to get groceries and food. Dude, they all of you sponge off the system. All of you. Doesn't matter what you're driving. You're all parasites.
I'll agree with that. I really will. I know. Just quick story, if you'll indulge me. It's actually really quick. One of my buddies, he is my client. He makes great money. It's a W-2 job, consulting, whatever. His wife, who had this little side business, it was one of these, keep her off my ass type side business. Yeah. You would not believe. And so that the husband makes a lot of money, fine. You would not believe the lengths that she went to, not only to try to get unemployment for this bullshit, business that folded because of COVID, but she was quite pissed when they did not. So last year around this time, Biden said, if you make under 150K, your first 10,000 of unemployment, not taxable.
Right.
Well, they were above that. You would just not believe how pissed off she was when I told her, look, you guys make too much, so I can't give you that benefit. It won't work. She's like, what?
She was angry at you, or
angry at the IRS and me, shooting the messenger. But it's like,
what is she? Let me guess. She's not an engineer or CPA or anything. No.
But it strikes me that even these people, and they got this $1 million house, out in the burbs here, and she was so indignant that she
pissed off about what, like $1,000 or something.
Yeah, crap like that. I mean, it was a little bit more than that, but I mean,
but if he's making that much money, I mean, my God, what?
Exactly. And so I'm just like, what? I'll just say that you're right. Even people who are well off.
Republicans take welfare too. They absolutely do. And they are, absolutely. Yes. It doesn't fucking matter. They're all fucking scum. That's one thing where it's like, gee, why are you so down and depressed? Well, it's because my political team is doing the exact same shit as the Marxist team. They're collecting government fucking money. So, all right.
My buddy was so embarrassed about that. He called me. He's like, dude, I'm so sorry, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, the goddamn bacon for $3.08. How do these women with those nails, those Wolverine nails, wipe?
I don't know. Wait, no, we do. They wrap it up. They wrap it around their hand, and they use a lot. I just see now. I think they got feces underneath their long ass nails because they didn't get it all. Now I'm like,
they definitely have something, and it's not good to have nails like that. Manoj Puntihia for
ballroom dancing agent in the field. He's a regular.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
$4.99. He asks, "Where are my tall man shoes? Did you have some of those or something?" Or
no, he should get them though if he wants. With the lifts, they got lifts.
Tom Likas used to advertise those. I remember.
Oh, really? That long ago?
Yeah, years ago. Yeah.
Oh, I guess they had to have been around for quite some time.
They have.
But yeah, no, you could get lifts. Absolutely, guys, get your lifts. Girls gonna get fake boobs and weaves and 9-inch nails. Get the pun?
9-inch nails, yeah.
9-inch nails, huh? You could go ahead and boost your height by 3-4 inches or whatever it is. Get some Prince boots.
Prince. Yeah, he was like 5'2".
Yeah, he's a very short guy.
This girl you definitely know, Kate Ann for $2.
Oh yeah, sushi.
She says makeup plus dress plus fit physique is sexual market value maintenance.
Well, if you see her, you understand she understands. Like the girls who can undo their PMS programming, the perfect mental state, I mean, PMS, and look at reality and make decisions in reality, they got to be less than 1% of the population. But look at the results. There's Kate. There's the other agent in the field that we have to poke with the stick to make sure it's not Atham hiding behind a mask. These girls live in reality. But for literally for every one of them, there's 99 who cannot leave the perfect mental state. They absolutely cannot.
I'd have to agree. So after this, now we have a $20 donation from Matt Erickson.
Right.
Oh, you can see it now. Okay, yeah. Says, if you really want to marry a girl, make sure she is 2 numbers below you on the 10 scale with makeup. Maintain her PMS, maintain your wallet.
I disagree about maintain her perfect mental state. You cannot function. That's the one thing I like most about my girlfriend is she lives in reality. And that allows me to say, we are making this decision and here's why. And there's no arguing about it because it's logical and it makes sense. There is no Chad, what do you think when a girl, not the current GF, but any girl, if she ever asks me, do I look fat in this dress? What do I say?
You will probably tell the truth.
I will say, yes, you look fat. I have.
Well, I will say that your girlfriend strikes me as more logical than the average female.
She is. That's why I'm not going to tolerate. Look, girls can have the perfect mental state. They can have that addiction. They can have that be the final end all be all and insist on nothing but. All right. But that we are not in a relationship then. We just aren't. Because that is a delusional, because I got to deal with the real world. I'm the one. The other thing is I'm the one that's got to fuck you. Okay. And I don't have to. I'll just leave and find someone else. But you cannot be working with someone who's living in a delusional world. You have to find the rare but exceptional girl who, what's probably one of the first things you can do to screen for this, Chad? Young man wants to get married. What's the first thing a guy can do for that?
Drawing a blank on this.
What is one of the best indicators that girl lives in the real world and she's a younger girl?
Well, see, I was going to say her body weight or her relationship with her dad, but I mean, that's probably...
Those are good too.
Yeah.
What did she study?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That tells you right there. Is she living in the real world? She's an engineer. She's a nurse. She's a doctor. She's a dentist. Boom. That girl, you can go talk to that girl. I'm going to be a teacher and change the world. Nope. Stuck in the PMS. Just stuck in the PMS. Yep.
Teacher. Next one should be, Digital Nomad for $2 Canadian. Cappy is so alpha that he didn't watch the Tinder Swindler.
Yep.
It's pretty good. I enjoyed it.
I'm glad you did. How long was it?
About an hour and a half. Yeah.
Okay, I saved an hour and a half of my life. I even talked about it hypocritically on Rule 0 the other day.
You were on Rule 0 the other day?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool. Andrew S. for $2. Marriage is the #1 cause of divorce.
Marriage is the #1 cause of divorce. I don't know who said that.
Probably somebody who's been married like 7 times or something. Michael Morgan for $2. Planning any shows or podcasts with Terrence Pott?
Yes, we all are planning shows. We just haven't set times or dates yet. I want to go on with TFM. I'm going to be on Hotep Jesus's show.
Really?
Yeah, next Friday. Yeah, he reached out to me. I kind of want to have the Come On Man guy come on. The Come On Man podcast, which is pretty good. No, there's lots of people I like to have, but obviously my voice needs to recover. I got to work. And just so you know, guys, coming mid-April, I might take a whole month off from everything. You may not see me.
Dude, me too.
Yeah.
Mid-April.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah.
So
I'm in, and it's not that I love Fresh and Fit like a brother. I enjoy hanging out with Rolo. I enjoy going to Miami. I appreciate going on everyone's show. I was on a political Discord yesterday. First time I ever did anything. I appreciate all of it. I don't have time to myself now. I need at least a month off. And so these guys are also all busy. You know, Pop, my God, he's huge. And he's got a ton of work to do. I mean,
he's still on YouTube, right? Like they
he
haven't
is, yeah,
put him out.
yeah,
Okay.
they haven't cut him off yet. Yep.
Okay.
But yeah, we'd all like to get together, but you know, Better Bachelor, his dad passed away. You know, he's buying property, that kind of thing. We're all kind of busy with their stuff.
I've told you this, but I know you guys in the chat might disagree. Always liked Coach Red Pill. Still do. I just like him.
I enjoyed him. I don't know. I'm not calling him a liar, but I don't know if he's 100% authentic, and how much of it is a little bit of shtick.
There's some shtick. I appreciate the way he communicates some things, you know.
I very much enjoy tuning in. But he doesn't have his channel anymore, apparently.
No, he's still got it. He re-uploaded all the old videos, but I mean, you know, it's YouTube. They'll kick him off at any time.
Right.
The Competent Man for $10. Why can't I get a job? Why can't I get that job? Late 90s in grad school for MBA and MSF.
Masters in Finance?
Yeah, Masters in Finance. Already a bachelor in computer science with decade of experience. 2 friends, early 20s hotties, had a job at a mutual fund without even a BS degree. Yeah. Looks.
Patriarchy.
Yeah.
Look at this. See, Ryan waits till you're on the show.
I saw this one earlier. Now, I want you to give me a couple minutes on this one because, I mean, it's $40 and he deserves a good explanation.
Right.
He wants to know, he said, chat, is there an upper limit on retained earnings for S-Corps? Is excess retained earnings a problem? So just really quickly, retained earnings are basically a combination of your equity and what your net profit is from the corporation. So profit plus, you know, what you already have. And it's kind of the thing with S-Corps because what they're really cracking down on, especially this year, with S-Corps, you're allowed to take what are called owner's distributions, owner's draws. So you can, you know this, you know, you can take the money out of your business bank account whenever you want to. It doesn't matter how much or how little you take out because you're taxed on what you made, not what you took out, but what you made. And so what I think he's asking is, you know, is it possible to have like too high returned earnings and having too much? Does that make it so you have to take money out? You know, do you end up on the IRS's radar? And the answer is you're fine as long as you report what's called a basis adjustment. Now, you kind of saw how sausage was made last week. We did we did Clary's taxes in person last week. Do you remember how, I can't remember if I asked you this before we got together or during, but you remember how I asked you what distributions do you believe that you took, you know?
Yeah, we had to estimate it because I didn't add them up. Right.
Yeah, and that's fine. And they're really only doing this for like, you know, audit targets.
Wealthy
you know,
people.
Very wealthy, of which you and I are not.
We are not.
Hopefully Ryan Bark is. But
well, with a $40 super chat, of which you only get half because Chad's on the show. Yeah, he probably does make a lot of money.
Not true, because freaking Google or YouTube.
Yeah, you know, so I even get less, Kyle.
Yeah.
38 cents out of this deal.
But the answer is you don't have to worry about this as long as you're accurately reporting any owner's draws and distributions that you're withdrawing from the business. They're trying to weed out fraud, money laundering, where you didn't make a profit, but at the same time you're withdrawing, you know, way more money as owner's draws.
Well, I can understand that too. Normally I'm not on the side of government, but that's fraud is what that is, and money laundering as well. Yeah.
It is reasonable. I don't think there's that many people that actually take advantage of this, but it is an extra security feature. So basically, don't worry about this. If you feel like if you're really worried about this, just go on my website, shoot me an email. I'm kind of busy right now, but you know.
Okay, cool.
The next one is Matt Erickson for $5. Wait, so what you're saying is don't get married? Please explain.
Follow your heart, money will follow. Wait, no. Don't worry, your girl is just right around the corner. Oh wait, just be yourself. Oh,
just be yourself.
But Chad, it's hard for women to stay thin.
Yeah, effort. It's just one of those things. All right, the one after this. The Competent Man for $10. Last month, been talking in comment section of Emma Thorne about all the sisterhood can't understand why men would not want to get married. Plus, they are confused what men want in a relationship. Do you know who Emma Thorne is?
Let's look her up.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Thorne. Not Emma Watson.
I know. No, but she sucks too. God.
Emma Thorne. Oh, this girl. This is the boy in Europe that she did a thing on Rich Cooper.
Really?
Yeah, she's like
followers. Or?
I mean, I guess she's not as big as Rich Cooper, but yeah, I guess she would be on the opposite side of the aisle. I mean, well, let's take a look. How many Twitter followers she got? Wait, this is Instagram.
The candle.
Maybe. Yeah, it's you could just look at her. It's what is it? Physiognomy.
Yeah, where if you're an ugly person on the inside, you
you could be a good person. You just look at her and you just can look and it tells you everything. I'm just seeing if she's got Twitter. Okay, let's take Emma the Goblin.
I'm not finding anything on my
Emma Thorne YouTube. Here, let's see how many subscribers she has. 54,000. So she's like about my size, maybe a little bit smaller.
You're way bigger than that.
Well, how many views you get? No, she gets way more views, like 30,000. Yeah, she's way bigger than me. Like based on the views she gets, she doesn't have a lot of subscribers, but she's got a lot of views. So she's doing better than me. So yeah, she's like 2 to 3 times my size.
Okay. Well,
good luck, buddy. Why, Confident Man? Why do you not understand the perfect mental state? What did you not understand about that? I thought I made it very clear. Let's go through it. Last month, talking comment section of Thorne about all of the sisterhood can't understand why men would not want to get married. Plus, they're confused what men want in a relationship. No, they're not. They're not. Because if they took what you were saying, like men, what do men want? Nice girls with sex and big boobs and long hair. That's it. They absolutely do not want to deliver that. So maybe as an addendum, or we could append to the perfect mental state, anything that would force a girl to think about leaving the perfect mental state is also ignored. Like, I think deep down inside, every girl knows guys like what they like, but they can't acknowledge that in their head. So it's not that they're playing dumb. It's just they can't admit that. They're hoping that there's a way that you're still going to like them for them. Plus, they're confused what men want in a relationship. Oh, why men don't want to get married? They just don't want to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
If they are still wedded to this dream or ideology that their parents and their teachers in society painted for them. We talked about this with some other female clients I've had where they are all waiting for their Prince Charming. They will not settle for anything less. And so I think they're so convinced of that idealistic life painted in their minds that when you come in and tell them a little bit, you drop the turd of truth in their punch bowl of unicorn farts, they can't believe it. I don't think they're even fake. I just don't think they are capable of believing it.
Yeah, I was just.
I mean, if you look at her, you know what? That's the type of person, like, if she starts hitting on her, you should just say, yeah, I don't date dudes. I mean, that's like the perfect person for it.
Yeah, that's this Nick Gilbert, software quality engineer for $5. Chad, my building only allows emotional support animals. Wild how many people in my building have emotional issues. Well,
Mhm.
this was about half an hour ago. For some reason, there's this really loud dog barking here for about 5 or 10 minutes. We don't allow dogs in here, so it was odd. I don't know what's going on. Matt Erickson for $20. Where's the Vladcast? $100 minimum super chats. The earliest that would take place would be late April or early May. I would never set a minimum of $100. That's not fair to anybody.
You wouldn't be able to set it at that anyway. You gotta get to 1,000 subscribers first. The day may come though, like you gotta bang out something. You don't have time for super chats. You said, like, there's like these troll. They're not trolls. They're too stupid to be trolls even. Like, I can't believe he's charging like he's gonna get $100 super. Look at this guy. It's like, moron. I'm so busy. I don't have time for it otherwise.
So you've done that before?
Yeah, I've done it
$100?
before. Like if I got to bang out asshole consulting, I don't have time. I can't take super chat. Well, I mean, I can, but I lose my voice. I don't have the time. So I put it $100 minimum super chat. That way, if somebody really wants to say something, they can. But most people know to save their money till later.
Yeah, that's a way to save time. I think Kevin Samuels has a minimum higher. Compton Man for $5. Told them men want two things: don't get fat and don't nag. You should see the reeing and accusations of what I must be and what is wrong with me. That's definitely a big part of
Yeah, but okay, so this gal gets 50,000 views on average. That's 50,000 women who are never going to be happily married.
Yeah.
They will never get the guy they want. They will never have great sex. They will never get the guy they're truly attracted to. And again, getting back to kind of the previous thing I was talking about, Competent Man. It's not that I want to move on, but like, let's now go to the next stage. What happens? And what I want to get to is the popcorn eating stage. Like it's a train. We've been watching this train not slow down and go to the bridge that's out. We've been trying to stop it. Well, now it's going off the broken bridge. And I'm thinking what we should do now is turn, look at it, start eating popcorn. Maybe hope for an explosion. Because Chad, is he going to stop 50,000, 20-something girls in Britain? No. Just enjoy it, Fred. Just enjoy it. I mean, I guess you could watch her videos if you could tolerate it. And it was a good exercise to go and, report back. Like we should, what we should do, Competent Man? Come up with 10 or 12 observations that you learned from being in the comment section. Don't be a dick. Don't be rude. Just go there, make some polite points, be civil about it, but then just highlight like, yeah, here's 12 things I observed. They insist on this, that. It'd be very insightful, but I almost guarantee you it's going to be out of that 12. It's always going to be, they want to believe something that isn't true. Like it's a religion.
Yeah.
Like almost a cult. And that's what, but I want to know what those 12 things are. So I know what to lie to women when I do Operation Evil. So I know what to tell them.
Yeah. There's going to be a gold mine in that one.
Yeah, I hope so.
The Competent Man for $10. Amazed that some women get into their 20s and somehow seem to have no idea what to do in a relationship or how to get a man. Even though dating for almost a decade at that point, because you're including high school and college and beyond.
Yeah. They want what they want, and they're not going to want anything else. That's what it is. They will not settle for anything but perfection.
Well, dating apps are screwing that up because women, get matches with these guys who want to sleep with them but not commit to them. So.
Right. Oh, boo-hoo.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's our old buddy, Channel 1800 Dumb from New Zealand for $10
with his redhead sister. Wait, I'm waiting for her to visit anytime now. Anytime.
Love to Cappy and Chad Thunder. Can't stay long, brothers. Likes up, please, brothers. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you, 1800. He's actually made some donations they're called super comments. So like if he misses it, you don't have to do this, by the way, New Zealand. Like people can donate money on videos we've already filmed in the comments section. And I mean, you could do it if you want. The only problem is I don't get a notification. So I don't, I got to go through and search for them and like, oh, all these people made all these comments. So don't feel compelled to do that.
Tyler Converso for
I think
$20.
this is a new guy. I don't recognize that name. Well, welcome, Tyler.
Yeah. Aaron, been watching since age 19. Stuck out the finance major and passed all CFA exams and got into money managing career and track. Yes, most finance jobs suck, but it can work if you put up with a little BS and luck. Enjoy $20 from Chicago.
You have fun. It's not a little BS. Not what I went. The CFA is no fucking joke. That is a nightmare.
It's disgusting. Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of my MBA classmates eventually did pass it, but it was torture for them.
Yeah.
Athlum for $2. I have a pair of boots that boost my height.
Shut up.
6'3". Isn't he already like
he's 6? Isn't he 6 flat?
I thought he was 6'1", but
okay.
Maybe he'll correct us.
Yeah, see, here we are. We think you're getting an edge on the tall guys. We finally got our booster shoes, right? We got some thick soles on, and then Athlum comes in, and they just all the tall guys take it away with getting their booster shoes too.
Very quick story. When I was at my MBA orientation, everybody's meeting each other. There were all these, as you can imagine, cocky guys who thought they were hot shots and whatever, but some of them were like, 5'7", 5'8". And then a guy I'm still actually friends with, the guys would try to act all badass. And my friend who was 6'5", he would walk up to them and literally lean on their heads. It was like the most, and I loved it because I didn't really like those other guys. And I was already friends with them. So Tsitsi Rakonda. Sounds almost like a Kenyan name.
Yeah, well, you would know. You were out there for a while.
Yeah, for $4.99.
Well, I gotta click on
it. Put it up. I had parents who told me that I was overweight and needed to lose weight for my health and to attract a husband.
Best parents, they should get the Parents of the Decade award. Your parents told you the truth. They love you. They care about you. They told you the truth. That's better than any American parent alive today.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably something you needed to hear. It probably wasn't fun at the time, but yeah.
That's good. Well, hey, now wait. If she's in shape, she ought to send. I don't believe her. She has to mail pictures in. I think she better mail some pictures in. I don't believe she's thin. That's I got a couple follow-up questions. Well, did she get married? Did she find a guy?
Well, she sent that. Let's see, 9:37. So she sent about almost 20 minutes ago. So maybe she's
right. I'm not asking for an additional, but I'm just kind of like, well, did it work? That's.
I'll monitor the chat.
Okay.
Missouri man for $5. I'm 28, won't get married within the next 5 to 7 years, and have saved a lot and lived like a monk the last few years. When should I ease up and enjoy life? This is your territory.
Well, I mean, now is a good time. You saved up. You have no debt. What I think is a great intermediary step that is not purely pissing away money, but is investing in yourself, is conducting reconnaissance. You're not getting married in the next 5 to 10 years or 5 to 7 years, saved up like a monk. What I would do is I would start exploring the United States as well as other countries you want to visit and scope them out as places you might want to live. And I got a book called Reconnaissance Man exactly for that. But that's something fun to do. You're traveling, you're seeing different things, but it's also investing in yourself and that you're only going to buy one home once. And that's a multi-year project, unless you get really lucky off the bat. Like, oh my God, I love El Paso, Texas. I can't wait to move here. And then you move out there. But whatever, wherever he finds it happy to be. He doesn't have to move to El Paso. But yeah, that's what I do. I'd be doing reconnaissance. That would be the next step.
Somebody wrote a book about that. Channel 1800 Dumb, New Zealand, $5. Take time off, Aaron. You stretch yourself too thin. It's not good, brother.
There's no choice. I had to finish the house. I got the taxes done, though.
Yeah, we got the taxes done.
We got the taxes done. Yes. I got my new online class up and running, Achieving Financial Excellence, the most direct path to wealth. That's available now, $99. That took some recording. I got digital residency at a certain place that shall be unnamed.
Yep.
Got that done. There's a lot of stuff I had. And here's the thing. There is going to be a calming down period. It starts pretty much at the end of February and beginning of March. But the work just keeps coming in.
That's what I'm saying. My concern about you, and I don't know if I've told you this before. I think it makes you anxious not to work. Is that true?
It does. Here's the main problem. I don't have any people around, especially for the past year, moving out on my own, building things on my own. I mean, there are people, but I don't go to an office. Girlfriend's back at home, finishing up her stuff. Then I come out to the Southern Command. Everyone else is gone. But that's how it works with life. Sometimes there's not always people around. That wears on my psychology after a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Then I obviously fill it with work. Now, let me ask you this, Chad. You put in 8 hours in a day.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You're in lockdown or there ain't no friends around. And you go out and you look to try and find something to do. No one's around. What's the next best thing for you to do?
Meaning you can either do work or go on the internet and chat with people there.
Right. Am I the type to go chill out in a chat room?
I can't see you doing
No.
that. I don't think you actually like to be in front of a computer screen unless you feel like you have to.
I'm in front of it so much, I don't want to be in front of it more. And so I'll take the dog for a walk, but the economist in me is like, I come back and 9 times out of 10, the best thing for me to do is what with another 4 or 5, 8 hours of my day?
Yeah.
Work some more. Because the money will go and save up and I could buy a piece of land in Croatia or wherever the heck I go.
The problem is that it's not great for your eyes. You'll get like ocular migraines and you got to get away from
What are you talking to my doctor or something? I just talked to him about that today. Yes, I do get ocular migraines, but thankfully they don't hurt.
Little birdie told me. Yeah.
Yeah. A little big mouth birdie told you. Yeah. Probably a pelican with that big ass mouth. That's what I'm going to call it now, is the pelican.
Hold up. No, in all seriousness, though, like you were mentioning last week that your eyes were bugging you because you were like in front of the computer too much.
Yes. Yes. That happened today as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, I appreciate the concern. This is nothing compared to what I did in college. But there is going to be an end goal in sight. But here's the other thing, Chad. Do I have a guarantee this is going to continue on?
No, but I mean, I have more confidence in that.
Right. All right. But let's just assume it won't. Strike the iron while it's hot. Save up the money so that all of 8 years ago, I was working security and teaching ballroom dance classes. All right. And I was doing fine. I was a minimalist. I was okay. But I'm not doing, anywhere. I've pretty much doubled my income since then, which is phenomenal. Now, if I can keep this up for a couple other years, I will have every possible thing that I can do secured away to hedge against a communist takeover in the United States. That's it. And that's like the biggest threat left remaining. And so strike while the iron is hot, make the money. I don't have any opportunity costs. It's watch TV, watch Twinder Swindler. Play video game. No, I might as well do it. It's but you are right. There is going to be a point where I have to chill out, and I am taking a vacation soon. But I'll be right back after I publish my book, and then I can back off the throttle a bit.
Well, one of the reasons for my confidence that this will continue is because you're doing something that you're spreading something most people can't and don't get these days, the truth. So people will pay for that.
Right. Imagine what they're going to pay for lies when Operation Evil comes out.
Whoa. Yeah.
I'm not going to buy a piece of land in Croatia. I'm going to buy Croatia with that money. I'm going to get myself some Oprah money. I'll be the king of Croatia.
Dr. Pangloss, I presume, for $5. I dated a woman, 54, strong financial background, a VP. There is no test. They only want the tingles. Oh, yeah. I mean, depends what their goals are. Yeah.
Yeah. But did he give them to her? I don't know.
I'll see if he had a follow-up in there.
Yeah, I don't know. Well,
all right.
Speaking of the pelican,
we need to quit wasting our money. $10. Victoria actually had 3 secrets. Make good tacos, be nice, and wear nice things under your clothes. I think those are all very good things that should.
They're all good things.
Yeah, I would certainly not complain.
Look how simple that formula is.
She gets it.
Yeah, make good taco. See, but she is willing to get it. She's willing to go out into the real world. Most girls don't even want to do that.
Right.
Make good food, be nice, be sexy. What about, geez, what do men want? But don't fall for it. They don't want to believe in what men want. And they won't believe. They will only believe in what they want men to want. That's the only thing they'll believe in.
I'll stick with my story that it starts with a strong father figure that you maintain a good relationship with.
Starts there.
Yeah. The Geth for $5. I feel good about my recent decision to quit college. I got a job lined up as a tow truck driver soon. If I like it, I'll get a CDL.
Oh.
Fuck the rat race. Good.
Good.
Yeah.
Good for you,
It's a
Geth. That's the
trade.
way to
Yeah.
do it. Yep. I
In
mean,
Canada.
look, let's say you didn't go to college and you didn't work, or you worked some kind of fast food job. At the end of 4 years, who's further ahead?
Well, he is.
Yeah.
I mean,
not in debt. Yeah.
He's not in debt, and he's doing. I mean, the crap that's going on in Canada right now. Truck drivers, man, they are. I bet you they're in for like some serious like.
Supply chain issues. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I can't think of a better country for it to happen to. Oh shoot, what was I gonna say? Oh, like here's for the Geth. It's a perfect example. Like there's a real job out there. He's going to go do it. You could jerk off to porn for 4 years while your competitors go to school, go to college. Unless they're majoring in STEM, you will come out further ahead than them. Like you literally could stay at home and jerk off to porn every day. You'll be ahead of all liberal arts and social science majors, all of them, by the time they graduate.
Mm-hmm. Feral Android from 1999. We were chatting earlier in the chat. He said, Chad turned down my business, but here's my support for the entertaining stream anyway. Well, thank you. He had asked me if I had room to take on another client.
You don't.
Unfortunately, I just don't. But
No, you don't.
if you're still on here, go to my website and email me if you would like some referrals, because I can get you, if you're interested in anyone in this city, good referrals, not somebody out of Yelp or whatever. I can get you somebody good.
Hey, I found this new YouTuber. His name is Phil, the guy you refuse to invite to parties. He's a CPA from New York. Lives in New York. Well, but no, he's pretty dope. He's pretty red pill. But he's very analytical. You could totally tell he's a CPA. But what's his name? Thinking Ape recommended it. So I started tuning in. And this guy he's got skill. No, Thinking Ape. I don't think that is that Stardust.
I think that's Stardust.
Is that? Oh, I thought it was somebody else. All right. Well, anyway,
deep voice.
It's got a good voice. I don't know if it's deep.
Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, anyway, so he recommended him. I started watching the guy's stuff, and I sent him an email. I'm like, "Hey, I want to advertise my book on your channel. Plus, you're looking for another CPA, so maybe he might work or something like that."
Could happen. You know the story about this tax season, but we'll see what's happening. But thanks for that, for the 1999 Farrell. Competent man, he's super generous tonight. I'm starting to feel guilty.
I think Competent Man, I could be wrong. I'm only speculating. Competent Man, you don't have to confirm this, but I think he's kind of one of these benefactors, where he probably makes a fair amount of money because he's on TFM show, he's on Rule Zero, and he always chips in 20, 30 bucks each podcast. So I'm assuming he's rather well to do.
Appreciate it. Mentioned that Emma was going to hit the wall, and this was his comments. He said that Mention was going to hit the wall in a few years and still be just as lost. Also, with short hair, attractive in spite of it. Pointed out also she seemed to have no experience in anything. I did go to her Instagram to see what she looked like. Yeah.
I mean, she's very young, and she's not going to hit the wall in a few years. She's got at least 10 years before that happens. But what I would do, Competent Man, if you haven't ruined your login and username, like your handle over there, just, don't say you're going to hit the wall. You're going to die a miserable, lonely bitch. Ha, 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 ha. But just like, I know we already have the answer, but well, what would you like in a guy? And okay, what do you think men want? Don't try to tell them what men want. Just find out what they think and report back, because you're not going to convince them otherwise to think differently. I mean, you really are talking to a brick. at that point. So, but you can at least ask the brick what it wants. But you're not going to get the brick to be anything else other than a brick.
She really does have an absolutely atrocious haircut. God.
But she did that on purpose. She is sending you a message that she is feminist and she doesn't need you. That's why she has that haircut.
Just very unappealing. Okay, so this was the one who mentioned her
This is
parents.
our girl, yep.
So she sent a super sticker that says here, and it's an arrow pointing down. So I'm just seeing if she had a follow-up there.
I don't see the super stickers.
But I also don't see a follow-up comment, so maybe it'll come later.
All right.
Wow. Hex Monkey.
Bunny, yeah. Thanks for waiting for Chad to be on the show, Hex. That's very nice.
Stop it. Great content.
Chad, before you answer this, do you want the blood out of my right wrist or my left wrist? Where would you like the blood to come from, Chad?
Whichever gives you the most trouble, pain, arthritis. Well, thank you for this. Great content. I wasn't red-pilled until my late 40s. Lost lots of time. Still in the anger phase about it. I hope it passes soon.
I got a buddy who's in even worse shape. I think he's approaching 60. And he is out of the rage phase. And the only advice I can give you, Hex, is what if you never figured it out? Like, what if you kept on getting married until you were dead? At least you know, and at minimum, you're no longer confused. Like, that confusion is gone now. You'll never be that confused ever again. And that anger phase takes a while to get over. But after that, then it's just like, man, go do your thing, go do your stuff. You got to be in the spot where, see, I'm old. I'm in, well, late 40s. So you've got a couple years on me. I'm at the stage where the train has buckled, but it hasn't yet exploded. I think you're at the spot where it's catching fire, but has yet to explode. So you're right there at the thick of it, watching the movie at its greatest peak, at its climax right now. So enjoy the show, get some popcorn and enjoy it. Just don't get angry. Life is too short for that.
Yeah.
Thanks for the $50, by the way.
Yeah, I think he did another one too. So random idiot for $10. I made $200K driving a truck after fuel, paperwork, and equipment rental last year before other taxes. Am I winning, Cappy?
No, random idiot. See, ew, gross. Truck driver? Like, OMG. Like, I just can't. I can't even random. Yeah, you're winning. Whether half the population knows you're winning or not, it's another matter, but you're winning. You're absolutely winning. And he didn't have to go to college. He makes as much as 5 liberal arts graduates with one job. Look at that.
And no debt, I bet.
No debt. And he actually provides a real service to the economy.
He's no random idiot. Channel 18 dumb, New Zealand for $2. Much hetero love to you guys. Must go. God bless. Well, thanks, man.
All right,
appreciate
thanks,
it.
1800.
Yeah. No, there's another one from the Geth for $5. Yeah. The Geth for $5. Well, I was a few years into a math degree. I was failing and hated it, so I quit. I just wasn't made to sit around and study all day. Yeah, it's a pretty soul-crushing thing to do. Yeah. The Competent Man for $10. Being generous. I fear that our time is limited with all the censorship BS. Example, in 2020, the Black Brigade did morning broadcasts and the Daily Blob afternoon live streams. It was great. Now not anymore. I think the Black Brigade kind of...
Yeah, he purposely quit. He wasn't kicked off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He seemed to be in a bad place when...
Oh, that's too bad. Oh, so sad. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Can you tell I'm like not really on the war path, but the retributive path for all these dipshits? Like, it's one thing if you're leftist Marxist, it's another thing like, yeah, we're on the same team. It's like, all right.
God.
Oh, that's too bad.
There's
he
one
did that for a long time.
Yeah?
He did, yeah, like 7-8 years he did a podcast.
Wow.
Yeah.
I hope he's doing all right. I'll just say that.
I hope he's doing all right too. I'm just there's a day for understanding and tolerance And then there's the day that asshole consulting comes out with a big boot he bought at not Home Depot, at Northern Power Tool and Equipment. And he gets a 300-yard running start to kick people in the fucking ass. And that is this day. That is 2022.
Yeah. Well, I Snows comes for $2. Durka Durka, Muhammad Jihad, Haka Sherpa Sherpa.
Did you ever see that movie?
Was it the one that the South Park guys made?
Yeah, Team America World.
Team America, yeah.
Oh, God. When I give you the secret single, what's that?
Yeah, that was there's pussies and dicks and assholes, and yeah.
If you promise you won't die, I'll sleep with you right now. I promise you I won't die.
Sex scene with those weird
marionette puppy. Yeah, that was weird. That was, damn it, Gary, act.
That's it. That's all.
That's it. We're caught up. All right. Anything going on? We didn't ask about you. Anything going on in Chad world? I know you got to go, but we
just the same old stuff with tax season. Everybody wants their stuff and they want it now. They're upset that the IRS is taking forever to issue refunds. Mm-hmm. They think I'm the cause they're not getting those refunds in some cases. So just the usual BS, man. One-liner questions. I've got this one person texted me a one-liner. Hey, can I write off X and X as an expense? It was very obvious. So I replied and said, yes, you can write that off. And then like 10 minutes later, well, what about this? Do you think I'm going to reply to that immediately or send it in 4 or 5 days at that point?
No.
Right.
Yeah.
Hence why my name for this podcast I felt inspired.
Yeah, stop emailing me. Yes.
Yeah.
I wonder if they see, I'm after doing taxes, there's all these variables I look at in a foreign country. And I'm thinking like, maybe I just find a place that has a sales tax. Like if I could find a place where I do not pay an income tax, where I don't have to go through all the calculations and all my deductions. Like I just pay a property tax, it's assessed, or I pay a sales tax every time I buy something. I think it'd be a lot easier. And then also a place that doesn't have restrictions and then fucking shit its panties when we had a really, really, really bad cold. There's fewer and fewer countries out there. And I also want a group of people that understand that when you hire your CPA, not to fuck them over with petty questions trying to get free consultation advice.
Yeah, and in some cases I understand they're anxious. Taxes makes people anxious. It just does. But I just wish, and you remember I work mostly with therapists, so you would expect they would have a little more empathy. I wish they would understand that, they can't do stuff like that. You're gumming it up for everybody else. So
well, they're therapists and teachers. My opinion on both.
Proud to say I don't have a single teacher as a client anymore. None.
I would almost refuse. Like you'd have to prove to me that like you weren't a Marxist. You have to I don't think you gotta be a card carrying Republican, but I gotta see your social media profile. And the only way I'd take you if you were a Democrat teacher, which is most of them, I'd be like fucking up their taxes, making them pay more. Oops, I forgot to include your mortgage interest. Oh, you got to pay in another $5,000. You'll be okay with that because you're a leftist, right? You want to help the people, right?
Dude, you have no idea how much that goes on in my head. And of course, they want every deduction they can get, even things that they're not even supposed to get. So, yeah.
All right, cool. Well, anyway, if you guys kindly would, check out our sponsors that I mentioned before, The Way of Monkey book, academiccomposition.com, Business Buyer Advantage. Chad is not taking any new clients.
No.
If you got questions, you go to assholeconsulting.com and I will answer your questions for you for a fee. And then the new book, The Menu, Life Without the Opposite Sex, is coming out probably within the month. Not this month, but within 30 days. Oh, and then the classes, both there's the minimalism course, Achieving Minimalism, and then my new course on Teachable called Achieving Financial Excellence. Achieving Financial Excellence is open for enrollment and will be always open for enrollment because I don't want to dick around with it. So if you're having financial troubles or you just want to stop being poor, that would be the simpler way to put it. Go take that class. It's 2.5 hours long. And I guarantee you have not. I took Dave Ramsey. Well, you didn't take this.
Dave Ramsey.
What's wrong with Dave Ramsey? He's not wrong.
He's fine. It's just sometimes he's giving tax advice that he shouldn't be giving. I've seen a few videos where I'm like, don't say that.
Well, maybe you can be his CPA calls up on the phone. So.
No thanks.
Anyway, if you want literally the most direct route out of poverty and to financial stability, please consider taking that class. You can search it, Achieving Financial Excellence on Teachable. That's it. Take us out.
Toodles.